Summer Rewind! Oh, I am Chris Sorrentino.
I am John Saluga. Another summertime rewind, baby.
That's right. We're sitting here at Slap Studios having some beer, enjoying the summertime. Took a little break from the camp. We had to leave those guys for a little bit. They're training for the Camp Olympics versus the camp across the lake, and who knows how that's going to go.
Who knows? But, we taught the kids to swim, and today's the day we find out if they were paying attention. So we're going to go back as soon as we're done with this.
I ain't placing no bets.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but hey, the parents signed the waiver, and
yeah, we got paid. That's all that matters.
That's it.
See you next year at camp, kids.
Survival of the fittest. That's our motto.
That's right. Survival the fittest way you shittest. That's the camp motto.
This is a jumbo sized.
I've never heard that in a while.
Summer rewind.
Yeah, this is a big episode.
This is big. Well, we're putting 2 episodes together, and this was your idea, and I love your thinking on this because this combines episode 106, Frookies,
classic episode,
with episode 129, which is Moon Rocks,
classic episode as well.
Now, there's a big gap in the numbers there, but actually, you figured this out. Moon Rocks was recorded the same night as Frookies.
Yeah, we got banged up and recorded 2 episodes in a row, saved the second half because we didn't know if we'd ever use it because it's us out of our minds. We not spoilers, but a moon rock is it's a bud of marijuana covered in marijuana wax and then rolled in marijuana keef, the THC, the pure THC dust. And that's a moon rock. And we smoked
Moon Rocks.
Moon Rocks.
And recorded an episode that we did end up releasing. And we were banking episodes at the time because I was about to have my first kid.
That's right.
That's how far back we're going. We're going back 5+ years on this.
Yeah.
This is probably very interesting. We haven't actually listened to what this sounds like yet.
No.
To hear these 2 recordings back to back, really, as our night actually played out.
This is the first time this has ever been done.
And it's a beast of an episode, and I hope you enjoy it. We're going to be back with all new episodes next week.
That's right.
That's August 2nd.
Yep.
Super Live Eventual will return.
Brand new, back to our regular time of usually a 45-minute, half hour.
Yeah.
So you won't have this block of cheese to cut through.
No, but again, these are some great episodes. I mean, Frookies is a classic moment of you losing it.
Yes.
Losing it, like you're trying to tell a story and you can't get through it, and it might hold the record for the longest laugh on this show.
This is true.
It's really a
Frookie-sized laugh.
It's one of the best moments ever. So that's the first episode, followed by Moon Rocks. If you're missing us, Chris was a guest on a podcast recently.
That's right. Galaxy of Film podcast. I was on episode 81 where we talked about Thor: Love and Thunder. So make sure you're up to date on that movie before listening, because spoilers will be slung around.
Yeah, spoilers abound, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I haven't seen it yet, but when I do, I'm going to listen.
Yeah.
I am going to be doing stand-up, which is a rare thing. It's been a year since I've done that. I'm going to be doing Manny and Friends, our buddy Manny Rondon. It's his birthday show. That's going to be at Flagship Brewery on July 28th. That's a Thursday at 9:00 p.m.
I can't wait. I'll be there rooting you on.
Carl Bartow is going to be doing a set. And Tim Duffy.
Oh, my God.
Matt Wayne's going to be there, who's a pro. That guy never stopped. But it's going to be a bunch of rusty old Staten Islanders Having a good time, man. I have never ever had a bad night with that group of comics.
No,
doing a show on Staten Island, and really, really, really just come out. It's
at a brewery.
Manny,
for gosh sake,
Manny puts on the most fun shows ever.
He really
always did.
I love Manny.
Guaranteed good time. You got to come out.
His whole crew, good people.
Yeah, the best. All right. We should let people listen to the episode.
Don't let's take up any more of your time. Devote it to this monster of an episode. But trust me, it's worth devouring. We'll see you next week. Hey, see you next year, campers. The rest of you guys that survived.
That's right.
And thank you for joining us on the Summertime Rewinds. You are listening to the Super Alive Adventure Podcast.
Yeah.
This is episode 106. I am Chris Sorrentino.
I am John Saluga.
And we are back at my wing of Slap Studios.
Yeah, the Sorrentino wing.
The cat house.
The cat house. The cat-infested wing. Chris has a cat came out that I've never seen before, and was
Muffin McScruffin
all over the equipment. That cat just wanted to be a part of the podcast.
She was breakdancing on the board.
I'm gonna
spinning and popping and locking and shocking and topping. And
what do I need? Like a spray bottle? How do you keep a cat away from?
You got to dress like a dog. Just stare him down.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Get like a big dog costume.
When I was a kid, one of the earliest like Halloween costumes I ever had was I was Snoopy one Halloween.
Okay.
I was like really, really little. And this is one of those stories where I feel like I remember what it felt like to be in the costume, but it could just be me hearing the story from my mother and seeing like pictures.
It's so weird, that whole...
Because I don't know, because I was definitely little. I think I was like 3.
Yeah.
But it was one of those, and I even feel like I remember getting the Halloween costume in like Toys R Us.
Okay.
But it was one of those costumes. It was like a very 80s costume where it was a plastic mask, with a string on it, and like a plastic like suit that you wore.
Yeah, it was like a I don't know, like a deflated pool toy suit.
Yeah. Like, but it's just it doesn't breathe at all. So I just had like a full plastic body and then a plastic mask on. And the way my mother always told the story, it was like I was a pretty easy kid. Apparently, like I didn't really complain, but she's taking me out like trick or treating, and I'm just like plowing through, but I was dying inside of it. I was just like sweating.
It was like a slip and slide on the Snoopy on the outside, slip and slide on the inside.
And she said she felt so bad when we got back home. She took the mask off me, and I was like totally red and like wet and kind of like I was like woozy. Like I kind of like staggered a little bit.
Did you pour out of that plastic suit like a Go-Gurt?
A little bit. Any longer, I would have died.
Oh man,
like I don't even
miserable.
know they wouldn't make something like that now for a
kid. My mom was like big on making my costumes. She didn't like those because she was like, if there's a fire that's melting to your body, like it's a plastic suit. Like,
oh really?
Yeah. And she's like, didn't trust Halloween because people do crazy shit and you never know. Like somebody can throw fire at you while you're trick or treating.
Wow, and her mind went there.
Yeah. So she's like, no. So she one year she made like a frog costume, and one year like me, my mom, and my dad all went as clowns.
Huh.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cute.
My brother, you made me think with the melting like plastic and stuff. My brother, when we were little kids, he wore swim goggles. They were like big full size ones, not the little ones, like the big. He had these big blue goggles on his face.
Okay.
And he liked them so much that he kept them on all day, like out of the pool. He's just like running around playing. And then when he went to take them off his head, they melted to his face.
What?
And he was like,
"Why? What is he, the Human Torch?"
He was like crying. My mother had to pry them off, and he had like a blue. They were like ripping, like they totally melted to his head.
How did that happen?
And she had to. Just like shit cheap rubber or plastic,
just melted to his face.
My mother had to like pry it off and like I don't know if she was using alcohol or what, but by the time it was done, he had a red ring in like the shape of the goggles on his face. My brother,
Scuba Steve.
My brother, I don't know. I feel like anything that was going to happen to him. Like all the time.
That's Wyatt.
Yeah, out of you. Like,
that's out of my
the
kids.
2 kids, one of them is more prone to just weird
Wyatt's
accidents.
that kid. He fell into a cactus. Like we had to pull like 2-inch cactus needles out of his ass. I'm not even joking.
Oh, like right on his ass?
Yeah, he's that kid who sat on a cactus.
That sucks. Dude, that's the worst.
He Yosemite Sam'd himself.
I stepped on a cactus once. Talking about cats and stuff, like my mother had a cat, Casper. You remember Casper?
I remember Casper.
Casper's the one that set himself on fire.
Yeah, he used to talk.
Sat on a candle. That was the weirdest thing.
That?
I have video of that somewhere.
Yeah.
The quality's not great, but it sounded like a kid talking. It used to scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, I remember that in the middle of the night. Yeah.
I hate that cat so much. But that cat
sounded like a kid in a well.
That cat took a cactus that my mother had on the windowsill and dragged it out to the middle of the living room floor. I don't know how the hell it must have. The cat sucked.
Yeah.
But I came walking through the house barefoot and I stepped right on it. And I remember plucking them out, but there's like, and I don't know if it was the same with your kid. You get the ones that are like, they're almost like tiny hairs. Like you can't even see them. I went up getting the vacuum cleaner and putting it against my foot and trying to just like suck them out because I couldn't
That's a good idea.
I couldn't see. I was there with tweezers. Oh, it's torture.
Yeah, no, it was like a weird cactus where it was like big, like toothpick size spines, like giant needles. Yeah, just all in his butt cheek. He's the king of. Oh, excuse me. Hey, that's a good segue for what are we drinking here?
You tell me. This is good stuff, though.
Yeah, it is.
But this is like nothing I've ever had.
No, that's the Applejack. I went upstate. I picked up some of this. It's Cornelius Applejack, and it's made. It's all like New York state pressed apples, and it's all apple. It's not grain alcohol.
But this is hard liquor.
Yeah,
it's I've had apple flavored liquors. I've obviously had cider,
it's just apple liquor.
Like woodpecker and woodchuck and stuff, but like this is strong.
It's very strong. That's what I was telling you how I was reading how that's not how they make it now. They obviously they use distilleries, but they used to make it. They would in colonial days they would have all these apples. They would throw them in like a barrel and leave them out over the winter, and they'd ferment and then freeze. Like the liquid would freeze, but the liquor wouldn't, obviously, because liquor that high in content doesn't freeze. So the liquor would be in the middle of this frozen juice, so they would just pour that out, and that was called that was Applejack. Yeah, and then they went on to name a cereal for kids after it. And we're also drinking Doc's Draft original hard apple cider.
I haven't had that. I'm gonna have a sip of that.
It's a really good. It's we were at this orchard, Soon's Orchard, where they use the apples for that.
That's totally different too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ring the bell for that.
They're good. Yeah, I'm gonna ring the bell. I'm gonna ring the Tennessee bell here for the Applejack. I'm gonna ring the haunted bell for the Doc's hard cider.
Yeah,
yeah.
Those of you at home, drink along.
Yeah, we every time we have a new drink, we ring the bell, and we encourage you to drink along with us and ring your own little bell.
That's right.
Yeah, ring it.
Ring it.
Yeah. Or else Tinkerbell dies. That's how that works, right?
That's how it works.
I don't know.
You're talking about how they made this stuff
too.
My Uncle Harry told me that they used to. I don't know if I ever said this on the podcast. I definitely told you before that they would hollow out a pumpkin and fill it with water when they were kids.
Yeah.
And then just kind of put the top back on it and let it sit out in the sun. And it was just like pumpkin water.
Yeah.
They're lucky they didn't go blind.
Get drunk on pumpkin moonshine.
Just let it ferment in a pumpkin as it like rotted outside full of water.
Oh, that's insane.
Oh, it's so dangerous.
I don't know how it didn't get like all moldy, because every time like I'll carve a pumpkin on Halloween and like by like November 3rd, it just looks like it looks like it ate a cat. It's like all that that fuzzy mold just pouring out of its mouth, and it's just so gross.
Maybe there's something to just the fact that they filled it with. Like I don't know what it's like. We should do it.
I think it's worse if you put water in it, because it's the moisture that makes the mold.
I don't know. Right?
Isn't that mold and moisture? Don't they go hand in hand?
I've never made pumpkin water, and maybe it was totally gross, and that's just what they did.
Let's do that. Let's
couple rednecks, let's have no money.
Let's have a podcast experiment. We're gonna make
die.
We're gonna go blind. Drinking pumpkin paint thinner.
I'd like to get back into stuff. I used to brew beer in high school, but I just had one of those Mr. Beer kits.
Yeah. Those were cool. Do they still sell those?
They still sell it.
They sell them like at Macy's, like for Christmas and shit like that.
Yeah, I got it at Linens and things.
There you go.
And I got totally screwed over. My buddy that I went to high school with, we used to drink on a golf course. We'd have like keg parties all the time. Best spot. We never got. We were always really smart about it. Like if we saw somebody, if somebody came and they like threw their cup like just on the ground, we'd like ban people. It was really like,
oh yeah,
when people come golfing in the morning, there can't be any evidence of a keg party, or they're just going to be waiting. To come back.
Yeah, of course.
So it was just like
that's a smart way to do it.
We had our spot, never got busted, and throughout a couple years of high school, we always did that. But we would get shit faced, and came up to me drunk, and he was like, "Oh, you dare me to go pee on?" I won't say the girl's name, but he was like, "You dare me to go pee on this girl?" I was like, "What?" I was like,
"Pee on a girl?"
Yeah, but he's like, "Yo, if I pee on her, you give me." I think it was like $20, and I was like, yeah, whatever, and I just, what I mean? Somebody comes up to you, and I think about it. The next morning, we wake up at my buddy Ronnie's house. We're a little like hungover, and goes, "Hey man, we got to go to Linens and things. They got a sale on a Mr. Beer. It's only $40 for a Mr. Beer kit. We'll split it. We'll get our own beer." I go, "All right." We get up to the register, and I'm like, she's like, "Okay, $40," and I got my 20, and I look at him, and he's like, "Oh no, it's all you owe me 20. I peed on." What? And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, remember?" I was like, I was like, I just brushed you away. And he's like,
"Yeah,
I said to you, you're gonna give me $20 if I pee on that girl, and I peed on her. So now you owe me $20." And this is happening at the counter in front of like a cashier.
Oh god.
And I paid the full thing. It was such a dick move.
That is a dick move.
But it was. You
got beer out of it.
He also. I
got to pee on a girl.
I shouldn't have said his name. Do I want to go through the effort of bleeping it? Yeah, I'll do it because it's a funny story. But I got to go back. I got to bleep his name out now.
Okay.
But he was. I remember I was super drunk and I saw him. He was like leaning up against a tree and he was with this girl, and I was like out of my mind. And I ran up, and the girl was a friend of ours too. And I gave her like a kick in the ass, but like a light kick in the ass. But it's still like I ran up and kicked the girl in the ass and laughed and ran away. She was blowing him. He was getting head from this girl.
Yeah.
He's leaning against a tree with his eyes closed. I kicked the girl in the ass while she was like giving a blowjob to my friend. Lucky she didn't.
Yeah, bite his dick.
He was so mad at me. He's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" But it was dark. Like I didn't know what was happening. I thought they were just drunk and they like were laying. Like I thought she was laying on him. He was like leaning against a tree. She was like giving him head, and I kicked her in the ass.
Oh, that's
like the worst.
That's great.
Fun times.
Yeah. Hey.
But those are the early days of getting drunk.
Yeah.
First time I ever really got drunk, I wound up like in a tree. I like climbed a tree. I was like crazy drunk. Yeah, with like people trying to like get me down out of it.
Jesus. I can't remember the first time I got crazy drunk. Yeah, I don't know. I cannot remember.
I mean, for me, it probably wasn't until I was like 17 or so. It was a little later.
Oh, really?
No,
I was probably like 13.
Before that, like a couple sips of drinks and stuff like that, but I didn't like fool around. It was definitely, it was kind of a late start compared to other people.
No, that's I got like blitzed at a super early age. I mean, that's not that early. It's like, 13 isn't 7, right?
Hey, I talking about like uncles and stuff. You hear those stories where like guys would start smoking cigarettes at like 7.
Yeah, dude, it was a completely different time with shit like that. Like people were starting shit at all crazy ages.
Kurt Broneller, I don't know if you know him. He's a comedian. He was like comedy partners with Kristen Schaal.
Okay, yeah.
They did a lot of like live stuff together, and like super funny guy. But he would tell the story on stage where he would talk about how his mother breastfed him until he was 5.
Oh, Jesus.
And then he started smoking cigarettes at 10. So he was like, there's only 5 years between breastfeeding and smoking cigarettes.
Oh,
like,
my
isn't that
goodness.
insane? It's a funny... I'm not going to do like his whole set. Like it's a funny joke, but he's a great guy. But isn't that weird?
It's even crazier. Yeah.
And that's it.
It's crazy they would sell you cigarettes at 10. Like, that was the thing that they would do that.
There were places you could go and get them out of, like, the vending machines. When was the last time you saw one of those? I remember going into bars and they would have the...
There definitely aren't anymore in New York. I'll tell you that much.
I wonder if they're anywhere in the country now.
I'd imagine so.
You think there's some states where it's still allowed?
Yeah. Hey, if you're listening to this and you have one of those in your state, if you've seen one, please drop us a line, 781-POD-SLAP. I'd like to know.
To tell you the truth, I guess if it's in a bar where you're not allowed to go in unless you're old enough to drink, then it's fine.
Yeah, which I don't understand why it was outlawed everywhere in New York. I mean,
I think there were other I think it was pretty easy to get to.
Just have them in bars. But I think that's the whole initiative to stop people from smoking in general.
Well, that's probably when it really went away. Was when New York, you can't smoke in a bar.
Yeah. But I remember it was those weird vending machines we had to like pull.
It was a pull. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they were old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like almost. It was like half vending machine, half foosball table.
But I haven't seen one of those in, God, a long time, man.
They definitely are no longer in New York.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So what else is new? When do you want to... you want to do it for the nerdy stuff? We're going to... By the way, those of you listening, you missed it, but we're going to...
You missed everything.
We're going to stream some of this on Facebook as a video.
Yeah.
It's kind of an experiment for us. Hopefully it gets people excited. We don't want to give whole episodes away.
Yeah. Well, I know there's some stuff you didn't want to talk about on Facebook.
There are definitely people who don't listen to the podcast that I don't really want to listen to the podcast that might look at a video on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. With certain stories. And
yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Should we get into some of that?
If you want. I mean, I got a couple things to talk about, but I could save all that because it's all nerd stuff.
Well, I can tell you a quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
Last night I went to my brother's house. It was my sister-in-law's birthday. And I had a great time. My nephew, who's like 2.5 now, I played with him the whole time. I had a blast just messing around with that kid. There was a period there where I didn't see him as much, or like, even with like family, when a kid's like really little, like every time you see him, it could be like seeing him for the first time.
Yeah, like kids change. Like in a month, a kid will change completely.
Suddenly, like, I think I'm that uncle now. When he sees me, he gets like excited. You know what I mean? Like he runs over, he grabs my hand, we go over to his toy because he knows I'm just going to play with him the whole time.
Yeah.
But my sister-in-law was talking about a friend of hers who had a kid, a little girl, and they named the girl Harper.
Okay.
And I like that name.
Yeah, it's not a bad name.
And a friend of somebody that I know named their kid Harper. It's one of those things. That's what happens. You pick a name that's like a different name, and there's that weird thing. There's that collective thing where everybody
suddenly it becomes in the zeitgeist, I guess.
And then it's an uncommon name becomes the most common name. So
which, luckily, no one jumped on the bandwagon with my kids' names.
Yeah, thankfully. But it's because that could be influenced by TV shows, movies, like whatever it is. It's just that collective thing in society.
Wesley was almost Desmond. Because of Lost.
Because of Lost, yeah.
But then I didn't because I was like, it's also...
And there may be others, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, that might have made it a little...
not that great.
It just makes people more aware. You hear the name and you go, oh, that's a good name. I haven't heard that name much.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're talking about Harper, and it's a good name. And then my sister-in-law goes, oh, it's such a good name. And then, they call her Harpy, which is cute. Little Harpy.
No, that's not. Yeah, you don't want to be.
And I'm there, and I didn't say anything in front of my family, but I was just like, Harpy is a horrible thing to call a woman. But my sister-in-law, she also she grew up like speaking Portuguese, and I was like, maybe she never heard that term or something. But I didn't say anything because there was a bunch of people.
We call her the rag.
But I sent my brother a text today. And I was like, hey, man, I didn't want to say anything last night, and I sent him, like, the definition of Harpy, which, by the way, is so good because there's like, 2 parts to it. Let me just take a look at this.
Well, there's like, hey, you're harping on me, you're nagging me, but then a harpy is like an Irish ghost, right?
Well,
it's an Irish woman.
Classical mythology.
Yeah.
So this is one
like
definition.
Pull you into lakes or some shit.
A ravenous, filthy monster having a woman's head and a bird's body.
Oh yeah.
That's where it originates.
Oh yeah.
But then what it wound up meaning, the way you would use it now, is it's a scolding, nagging, bad-tempered woman.
Yeah.
A shrew.
Yeah, real rag.
So
real rag mama.
So I sent that to my brother, and I was like, hey, man. I sent it to my brother, and I was just like, hey, didn't want to say anything last night, but if your friends are calling the kid Harpy, they should probably know this. And my brother, instead of writing back like, oh, hey, thanks, I'll let them know, was just like, well, no one's going to think that's why they call the kid that.
But you still don't.
And I was like, yeah, it's not. I was like, it's a horrible thing to call a woman.
Yeah, it's like,
it's actually, like, maybe it's a bit outdated, but it still exists.
It's still
I
not,
know the term, you know the term. You picture like an old man talking about his wife. Like,
she's harping on me.
Harpy. Yeah, but just to call a kid like little harpy, I'm like, no. Don't call your kid that. And anybody who knows the word, and this is, by the way, anybody listening, I piss a lot of people off because I'm direct, but what most people are doing in that situation is they're snickering and not saying anything.
Yeah, they're still acknowledging, just not to your fucking face.
And all I'm saying is, like, let them know that's a negative thing. Harper is an awesome name.
Yeah. Well, you know what your brother did actually say was, it's not as bad as her sister, Consuelo.
I was thinking the same thing. I fucking love you. I love you.
I love
making
you
the joke before I could. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that little cunt.
Yeah. It writes itself.
Well, no one's thinking. No one's
thinking about her cunt.
She's not a cunt. People hear that and they go, "Oh, that's just a short version of her name that must start with cunt."
So I got this harpy and I got this cunt. We're going to Disney World in the summer. It's going to be
just hey, and at the end of the day, it's like, fine. I don't know these people. Like,
hey, you ain't my kid.
Do whatever you want. But I was happy that I at least, like, in the moment, didn't want to embarrass anybody.
Yeah, you did the right thing.
There's a bunch of people. And then I sent a message. I was like, by the way, harpy's a terrible thing. Probably shouldn't call a little girl harpy.
Yeah.
And the response was, no one's going to think that. And it's like, no one's going to think that. They're going to think that the parents are idiots for calling their daughter. It's an English word. It's in the dictionary. Like, you're using a negative, specifically anti-female word as a nickname for your child.
Yeah.
Have fun with it.
Okay.
Go for it.
Go to town. Harpy.
That little harpy. So funny.
That's great.
So, yeah, that was one of the things I figured I'd get in trouble for.
I had a family thing. Now this reflects, I don't know if this reflects bad on me or not. It's I went to my uncle's and he was having a block party.
Yeah.
You know, like a block party where they shut down the block and they have like rides and games and stuff. Except it was pouring rain, and my uncle invites me every year, and I'm like, every year I'm like, I'm working.
This is in Jersey?
No, this is here. This is in Huntington Hills in Staten Island.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. My father's brother, Uncle Nick. So, excuse me. So I go and it's raining, so we wind up having to go inside. One of the guys who was operating the ride, my uncle's a real nice guy. So it was like this guy who was operating the ride. I guess he was like standing out in the rain. Or he was operating the bounce house. So my Uncle Nick invited him in. And the guy's just sitting there. And it was this black dude, young black fellow with like kind of like dreads and stuff. He's like sitting by himself on his phone. He's sitting next to, they have a pet rabbit. It's a black rabbit and its name is Midnight. So
okay.
I forgot. So I walk in and I'm like, oh, hey, how's this and that? And my Uncle Nick goes, oh, you remember Midnight, right? And points over and I go, what?
Oh, you looked past the rabbit and at the
dude. And I thought he was talking.
Are you kidding me?
I swear to God. And I looked at him, I was like, what? Is that on me?
No.
Okay. I was worried.
No, because you didn't see the rabbit.
No, I forgot.
He's pointing at a black guy.
I know it's something. He's literally sitting next to the rabbit, like obscuring, and he's like, "Oh, Midnight." Right? I was like, "What?"
At least you said what?
Yeah.
You're worried about being racist.
No, and then introduced me to that guy after, they were like Lyle or something like that. And I was like, Oh, the rabbit.
I know, but if he said, you remember Midnight, and you were like, of course, what it is. And like, you could have made it so much worse. If you went over and gave
hi, my brother. Like, oh no, go away. Speaking some like airplane type of.
It would have been so much worse. It would have been so much worse.
Oh God. Oh my God.
Yeah, you're good. As another white guy, I'm telling you, that's you're okay.
All right. No, I was worried that I was the horrible racist.
No, you're not at all.
All right.
Especially because you questioned it.
Yeah. No, I looked at him like, what?
Because otherwise you would have been like, fine.
Yeah.
Like, because my grandparents, that was like, they only knew a few black people, and they were like, step and fetch it and stuff. Like, they all had like,
God,
they did all that shit.
Really?
I'm not even making that up.
Really?
That was like, that was like one of the guys in the neighborhood.
Oh, Jesus.
And that goes back to like,
yeah, that's
oh my God, like blackface shit.
Yeah, it's all like Al Jolson shit.
Horrible. No, you questioned it.
Yeah.
I think that's good. You
All right,
immediately were
thanks.
like, if that's what you're calling him,
Yeah.
you hit the brakes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I wasn't going to be like, oh, that's his name. Great. Like,
That's fucking funny. Though.
Yeah. Not even
funny.
joking. True story.
Your uncle's racist.
He's racist against rabbits.
There's a human being sitting there. He's introducing you to a rabbit.
Yeah, that's true.
You remember the rabbit.
Yeah, it's true. That is true.
Oh man. So I was traveling a bit. So my wife, who's pregnant, didn't want to fly anywhere, which is understandable. Didn't want to really go too far. Didn't want to go any place where there was a threat of Zika.
Yeah.
That's a big problem. So we went to my parents' place upstate New York.
Oh, you want some more of this Applejack?
I'm good because I want to have some of that beer after this.
Okay, I'm gonna have a little more Applejack.
So we went to my parents' house upstate, which was fun, man. The first weekend we were there. So my parents' house is like halfway between Staten Island and Montreal. So it's like a 3.5-hour drive to their place. We crashed for 2 days. It was like raining. It was kind of a shitty weekend, but I'm just in this house by the woods. You've been there.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, house in the woods by a lake. And I just sat in a comfortable recliner, and there's a book that I'm reading. Megan Rico, she's the writer's assistant at my job. She's actually getting promoted now to like junior comedy producer.
Oh, nice.
Super funny, super smart. Very jealous of the fact that she's got shit figured out in her very early 20s. While I'm starting to, yeah, but she's just doing everything right. But she wrote a screenplay.
Oh, cool.
That's science fiction comedy.
Oh, really?
So she asked me if I would read it, and
was it something I would like?
yeah, you would dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would absolutely dig it.
Ghostbuster-y?
And no, more like Aliens and
Like Men in Black-y?
Like E.T.
Okay.
kind of, but with comedy and
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
So it was cool, and one of the things that I told her, she gave it to me a while ago. I felt bad I didn't read it sooner, but like I felt like with a screenplay, especially reading it for somebody else, I wanted to sit and read it in like one sitting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I didn't want to read, not like a book. I didn't want to read a few pages and put it down and come back to it. So I sat in a chair.
You forget so much when you do that.
And it's like it's like reading a screenplay or reading a play. It's like I'm gonna try to imagine this as a movie and like go the whole way through. So yeah, I did that up there, and it was like super relaxing. It's great. I'm looking forward to like talking to her about it because I have some notes and stuff. But she's great. There's
Cool.
nothing that interesting with the story there. But then we went up to Montreal, which I had never been. Have you ever?
No, I've only been to Toronto.
Me too.
Okay.
So I've been to Toronto like a few times, and Montreal, man, it's a short trip, and it's very weird to go from like upstate New York, where we're hanging out with some like real like rednecks, Donald Trump supporters.
I didn't realize, because I was upstate over the weekend as well, and I didn't realize, I was like an hour and a half away, that it's like the sticks, man. You're literally an hour and a half away from New York City, the biggest metropolis in the world, I guess,
Yeah.
right? And you could take a bus ride out to like where it's like Kentucky. It's berserk.
I posted a video online.
The horses?
Yeah, so there's a horse, and it's really funny because it's the video when you see it, it's this huge horse, and it clearly like escaped.
Yeah.
Because it's dragging, for lack of a better word, like a leash. Like, what would you say, like a lead or whatever? It's like, I guess the horse was tied up. And then I kind of like quickly turn to my wife, who's like bug-eyed, and then she starts laughing and she covers her face. But what actually happened, we were driving down a road, and there were 4 horses running up the road at the car. Jesus. And they were like huge horses, and my wife completely freaked out. It's even a little intimidating. It's amazing that we domesticated them at all.
Yeah.
Because when they're coming at you, they're big animals, and there's 4 of them. And it turns out there was this woman running up a dirt road,
maybe
like
they were
barefoot,
just
chasing them,
protecting Rivendell, and that was trying to keep you away.
But they, no, they were huge, man, and that's the thing up there. It's we drove by this one guy's house, and he had like the American flag, the POW flag. This is just decorating his house. The "Don't Tread on Me" flag.
Yeah.
The coiled
snake.
The coiled snake, that yellow flag. And then he had a flag. It was just a silhouette of a machine gun that said "Come and get it."
Oh boy,
Yeah.
it's a real.
And I mean, it was like a big machine gun. It was like and that's, New York is a blue state, but when you get out there in the sticks, there's that, and it's really weird to get in the car and then drive a little more than 3 hours, and suddenly you're in Montreal, and it feels very European, and people are speaking French.
Yeah,
and you're in a city, like it's so strange.
Do you need a passport to go across the border there?
You do now.
Okay.
It used to be the first couple times the first 2 times I was in Canada, I was only in there at night.
Yeah.
Once I was visiting a friend at college. Another time I was working a job in Maine, and we just went over the border to hang out. And you just needed a driver's license.
Oh, okay.
You absolutely post 9/11 need a passport, or you can get I think they call it an enhanced driver's license. You can pay a little bit more for your driver's license in New York, and that'll give you an ID that'll allow you into Canada and Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But what you pay, it's about the same as like getting a passport. So it's just like, it's kind of cool and convenient as a car. Maybe if your business just has you going in and out of Canada or in and out of Mexico, it would make sense. But to me, it's like, I would do it, except that I'd just rather have a passport.
Yeah.
But Montreal was cool. You would like, first of all, I didn't know this, but Jason Simon, who I used to work with, his wife was from Montreal. Told him how I was there, and he wrote back to me. He's like, "Do you know Montreal has the best pastrami?"
Really?
I had no idea. I really went in pretty ignorant to all of it.
To all the pastrami causes happening.
He told me to go to this place called it's Schwartz's.
Okay.
You'd fucking love it, man. It's like, but here's the thing: as a New Yorker, it's hard to be impressed. Like, was it the best pastrami I ever had? Yeah.
Is it Katz's?
But tied with the best pastrami I ever had. Like, exactly. Like, I've had Katz, I've had Carnegie Deli. Even on Staten Island, I loved like Golden's Deli when it was around. I used to love going there. But it was a cool little place, frozen in time. Like, it just looked like however it's looked since it's been open. A line outside and everything.
So I went to a Polish place upstate that was like that.
I saw you posted that picture. Yeah.
And
you
it was
walk
like
and you know it's good when you see that.
Yeah, it's the same type of thing, just frozen in time, and it just, everything's just like, it's wood paneled. It reminded me of like Feeney's.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
even the sign, it looks like hand painted signs, like a menu's like looks like hand painted, and there's a particular style too to the font and everything.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's how this place was, and then I also got poutine, which is
I'm scared to try poutine.
I don't know why, because it's French fries with gravy and just like cheese curd, which is usually like a cheddar cheese.
You know what? If they just called it cheddar cheese, I'm okay with it. They call it curd, and it makes me want to throw up.
The one that I had, if I just ate the cheese by itself, it had a bit of a weird texture. But when you got a fork full of that with the fries and the gravy, I think you dig it. I can't
get it out of my mind. It's just
okay.
I can't eat something called curd. I don't know.
But you should. It's something you should do, and maybe take the kids, because it is like...
Oh, yeah, no, I want to. We were talking about it. Like, I would love to jump at the camera.
It's really cool, and everybody speaks French, but they recognize when you speak... As long as you're in, like, the touristy areas, someone's always going to be able to speak English.
Yeah. Canadians are nice. We were just talking about like a lot of Americans traveling abroad will slap like maple flag stickers on their fucking luggage because you don't want to be like an American guy over in Europe right now or in Mexico.
My buddy Tashi,
everyone loves Canadians.
Tashi he just travels. He's been everywhere. He's constantly bouncing around different countries and stuff. He told me something that was really interesting because he was traveling while Bush was still in. Yeah, and people really fucking hated us. He learned pretty early on that if he said he was American, he'd get an attitude from some people.
Yeah.
If he said he was a New Yorker, people were always cool.
Oh, really?
And that was his advice to me. He goes, when you travel, don't just say you're an American. Tell them you're from New York.
Really?
They have a lot of respect for New York. They know the city, and it's almost like they recognize that the people there are more open-minded. It's just a different...
Okay.
That is kind of known throughout the world that New Yorkers are cool.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and I thought that was like a cool bit of advice, and I always took that
You hear that? We're cool. Everybody.
But it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It's just kind of like...
Yeah, it does.
From the U.S., it's like, there's a certain thing that comes with that. And when you say you're from New York, it's just New York is... Suddenly, it's like, it's way more liberal. That's where the arts are.
Yeah, you could
That's
be some Christian dude from Minnesota, for all they know, and they're like, yeah, all right, got here, Ned Flanders.
Yeah, that was his advice to me.
That's cool. That's a good move. It's a power play.
Quick story, and this is what my wife wouldn't really want me to tell, but we were in a museum there. They have an art museum that's phenomenal.
Yeah, I saw some of the pictures you posted. Yeah,
the museum, it's 4 different buildings.
Okay,
connected underground, so it's like endless. They had oh god, and they had
like the Jedi Temple.
They had a temple.
Spires.
Yes, it is.
It's like, why do you have so many spires? What's going on in that temple?
It's just like that.
It's odd.
It's just like it.
Was it like a room where they all sat in the corner?
Yeah.
They all sat in a circle.
Oh, you nailed it. You don't even have to go.
The guy whose head looks like a whale dick. that asshole
that
Jedi.
Dork.
It's
a whale dick
I just want to interject with something real nerdy, because we haven't been that nerdy in like the past hour, and so I feel like it has to be. You have the Star Wars prequels, and you're like, oh, let's go crazy. It's Star Wars. They came out the worst looking fucking Jedi. Like the worst aliens ever.
Yeah.
Just they suck.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was nobody that intimidating.
No.
This one's going to have a really long head. This one's going to have a really long neck.
Yeah.
And this one's going to have a female Yoda. It's like nobody was intimidating in that room, which I guess as a Jedi you don't have to be, but I would have liked somebody who, even the guys who were kind of intimidated, needing like a breathing apparatus.
Yeah, or even yeah,
right. Like he kind of looks scary, but hang on, I need some oxygen.
Yeah, if you take the mask off, he probably has a real cute face under there.
Who's the scariest guy? Samuel Jackson?
Yeah. Oh, definitely, by far.
That's it. That's the scariest Jedi.
Yeah, they just suck. They weren't like appealing looking aliens. Like dude, this is Star Wars.
Yeah. No, it's not though.
All right.
You know I don't count those.
I know. All right, so
Trust
museum.
Me, you're better off. Just
museum on Coruscant.
We're going down an escalator. Oh, but I was starting to say they had an exhibit on Pompeii.
Okay, that's cool.
Which I remember my parents years ago went to Italy, and they came back with pictures. My mother saying she got emotional, and it was like, it's almost 2,000 years ago. This ancient civilization that was like totally advanced with, oh my god, like they had
sewer systems and shit.
Yeah,
like
all that. Even rich people had like water coming right to the homes and stuff, and it was really, really cool. So the way they set up the exhibit is you see all the artwork and different relics. So they have like different like pottery and stuff like that, and metals that they use, and you see like how advanced they were. And then it ends with people who don't know the story of Pompeii. There was a volcano erupted.
Spoiler alert.
Killed everybody.
Yeah.
And it was way, way, way later they realized that these bodies that had the bodies weren't preserved, but they were basically these empty like cavities within I guess like the hardened lava.
Okay.
And they poured like plaster in, and they were able to get molds of the bodies.
Oh, that's
there.
creepy.
And a lot of people were killed by the heat and like the gas before they were covered. So they had some of these molds there in this room at the very end of it. So you see how they live, and then you go into the room, there's a video kind of showing you what it was like when the volcano went off. And this whole, oh my God, like eyewitness account. There was like this guy who wrote about it, whose father went to investigate. He died.
Yeah.
He had this quote, I forget what the Italian quote is, but it was like, oh God, what was, I don't want to fuck it up, but it was like,
we all got fungooled.
No, but it was like, it was something like fortune favors the brave, or like something like that. And he went off and he died. Like he just, because they couldn't get out of it. Just all this ash and shit was coming down and everything. But we went to this room and they had these molds of these bodies. I got emotional in the room. Like it totally freaked me out because because people died before they were actually hit by anything, just from the heat and the gas. So there's like a mother like holding her child is like one of the molds. There's like a guy sitting with his head like in his hands. Like there's just like these molds of like people in their like final moments from like 2,000 years ago.
Jesus.
It's like really, really intense.
Wow.
Yeah, it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. It was cool. Something I always wanted to see in Italy, and it was cool that they actually, like in conjunction with a museum in Naples and stuff, like made this thing happen.
That's cool. That's really cool.
But we're in this museum and we're going down an escalator, and my wife is wearing a dress.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets to the bottom of the escalator, and her dress gets caught in the escalator.
Oh, no.
And she immediately just yells, "Help!" She goes, "Help me! Help me! Help me!" And it's eating her skirt. She has like a long skirt.
It's a
and she said
yell.
she always pulls it up, but for whatever time, she even like consciously thought, fuck it. I'm like, and it's, I know what that's like. It's like when you move your car 2 blocks and you're like, I'm not going to put my seatbelt on. Like, I think it was like that. But it was like eating her skirt.
Holy shit.
And a couple people were there, not a lot, and they like turned, and I'm proud of myself that I very quickly just like shot down, grabbed her dress where it was caught, and I just ripped it. I just tore it out of the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe there was the button to shut the escalator, but then it would have been somebody coming to like reverse it.
Rip the whole bottom and became like a Benny Hill thing where she was just like running around in a thong.
Thankfully, no. I just ripped a chunk and like she got out, but you know, the scary thing is like you hear shit like a guy just got killed in an elevator recently. Like,
really?
That just went while he was halfway on it.
Oh, I
like
didn't
you
know
hear
that.
those kinds of like stories. And the scary thing is like, God forbid, like the thing actually pulled her down and she got like caught up in an escalator, because you're not stopping that.
No.
But then the funny thing that could have happened is it could have just ripped her skirt off
and
in the middle of a museum, and it would have been Benny Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, all you gotta do is play yakety sax at that point and just let her run around the place screaming.
And this is where I'm not a great person, because, look, I helped her and I'm glad everything's okay. There's a part of me that knows it would have been really fucking funny if that escalator ate her skirt. There's a part of me that's just like... And then it's me running around dealing with people that, like, speak English but mostly speak French, trying to get her...
Well, at least you're in Canada. You know what I mean?
That's what I say all the time.
Not like you did it at the Staten Island Mall.
Do you do this when you're on vacation? How many decisions do you make where you go, fuck it, who knows me here?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
I'm going to go in dressed like this.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to take my shirt off and go sit over there.
I'm going to fart everywhere.
It would have been the best. Shit. It would have been the best place for her to do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The best place for her to have her dress ripped off.
You know, it was weird too, man. And then I guess I'll end on this. But like when we'd go back to the hotel room, and we were in the hotel a lot just because she is pregnant. She would get tired just walking around and stuff. A lot of like naps in the middle of the day. Mm-hmm. So we'd have like the news on over there, and watching the news where they're gearing up for the Olympics, obviously, and there's Canadian news. But I
hate the Olympics.
They're looking at us. They're looking at the election. They're looking at like Trump and Hillary and everything. And I became, even though I already knew this, even more aware of like how much the media affects the way we think.
Oh yeah.
Because over here, I'm constantly panicking that Trump is going to be president, and it is a possibility. But when I was there, I was way less worried.
Really?
Because there's this new news anchor, and she introduced a story, because there was so many scandals with Trump recently. I'm not going to get into everything, but like he says one shitty thing after another and one stupid thing after another, saying that we should, like, why don't we use our nuclear weapons, like, for example.
Yeah.
It's crazy that we're even thinking about voting for a guy like that.
Well, we aren't, but saying.
But I put in this news program. And
the collective we.
Right. No, you're right. And but I go there, and there's this woman on the news, and she goes, Trump's in the news again. He continues to say things to create scandal and keeps him in the news and keeps people listening. Like, people keep listening to what he's saying because he's just going to keep doing this thing that he does. And let's now hear so-and-so with the report. But she introduced it as like
balls to say that.
She just kind of said it like, yeah, he's just getting a bunch of airtime because he says it, but it was like presented that way. And then it was kind of presented as like his numbers are dropping. He's going to keep shooting himself in the foot. It felt very, in Canada, it felt like there's no way he's going to be president. And then I came back home, and it's Trump, 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 and it feels like, oh my God, he's going to become the president of the United States.
Jesus.
The thing that scares me, I guess not as much, the worst thing would be Trump being president. I kind of wonder if, I feel like the Republicans, and I look, I don't know enough about how to do it to even know if it's a possibility, but there's a part of me that's worried they're going to pull like the old switcheroo, which is just like, this is all distraction, and at the last minute, it's going to be a different candidate, and we're not going to have enough time to do debates and really think about it.
Can they do that legally?
I don't know.
You can't do that.
They don't. I mean, the Republican Party, more and more and more, they're turning against him because he's not in line with the party.
Yeah, but you can't just
everything that I heard, it sounds like he would have to leave, and there are those people that feel like all he wanted to do was improve his brand, and he wants people to continue saying his name and knowing who he is, and he doesn't really want to be president. But I don't believe that. I think he's in it for the long haul. Now.
He might have been of that mindset from like at one point, but now I think he has all his cards in.
Could he say something? And to me, it's crazy that we don't already feel like we don't feel like he hasn't done this already, but like, could he say something that's so bad that he has to then step down?
Yeah. Oh, he definitely could.
And suddenly, there's a new guy in the race with a couple weeks to go.
Like, imagine he dropped the N-bomb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
let's say that.
Out. Yeah.
Let's say he drops the N-bomb 2 weeks before the election.
Yeah.
And I don't know the answer. Could he step down and suddenly somebody else steps in, a Paul Ryan or somebody, and becomes the president of the United States because we've just distracted until the very end and then switch him out? And a lot of people hate Hillary. Yeah. And somebody comes in as a breath of fresh air, just like, oh, thank God we have a third option.
In general, even if he does become president, see, that's why I'm not that worried, because if he does become president, the first stupid thing he does, he's gonna get ejected. He's gonna get impeached. Like, you can't pull that shit.
The scary thing, talking about like nuclear weapons and stuff, is that like that's a very real thing where like.
But he's not in charge of anything. Your president's really not in charge of anything.
But if he wanted to bomb somebody, he could.
He could get away with it once, and then he's gone.
But that's a huge... He could do a lot of damage.
He could do damage, but I can't imagine him being in office that long, the way he conducts himself. Yeah. So even if he is president, I mean, it sucks. We don't know who else is going to... You know, where does that go? If you get impeached, the vice president becomes president? Is that that's how that works? Okay.
Yeah.
Then who becomes the vice president?
I don't know. There's a whole
like a secretary
I should know.
Such.
There's a whole there's a whole chain
of command, yeah.
And it goes down. I think it even goes down to like Department of Agriculture and shit. Really? Like, it really goes on and on and on.
Yeah. Mary in the PTA. She's the new president.
I mean, we never had to face that, thankfully, but I don't know. But anyway, I don't know enough, so the people listening who are more informed than me, maybe I sound like an idiot, but one of my fears is that what if something happens that's so bad that he can't recover from it and he pulls out and suddenly we see a different Republican and there's just not enough time. People already know how they feel about Hillary.
He could pull the Houdini.
He could.
You know the Houdini when you do that to a girl? You hear the Houdini?
It's been a while.
Right,
refresh my memory.
Okay. Now it's a very hypothetical situation. I can't see this actually working, but it's a thing. You like say you're banging a girl from behind and you're doing it in front of a window, right?
Okay.
Say like the front window of her house and you're fucking her. All of a sudden, you have a buddy come and you switch off without her knowing. Maybe I got to scratch my leg or something. You pull out for a sec. He comes behind you, starts plowing. Then you walk around to the front of that window and you wave to her. It's the Houdini.
No, thanks for refreshing my memory.
Yeah.
I do remember.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We can go on with those for a bit. Do you want to take a break?
Yeah, let's get some more liquor, and then we'll turn on the Facebook live.
Yeah, we'll run some AC. We'll cool down.
Oh, yeah, we need to. We're New York, man. We're in the middle of a heat wave.
Heat wave. It sucks. It's so miserable.
Heat wave.
Yeah, I kind of can't wait for the summer to be over.
I hate the summer. I hate the summer. I hate the Summer Olympics.
We talked about this earlier. Summer's the best when you're a kid.
Yes, or when you're really old.
When you're really old.
That's the only time it's really good. When you're retired and you don't have to do shit but sit in a pool, or if you're off from school and you don't have shit to do but sit in a pool.
Upstate New York was hot, and I went down to the lake and I swam in a lake every day, and I was like, I could live like this. But when I come back home and I just have shit to do and I'm melting in my own house, it sucks.
That's a good lake. Me and former host Brian McGuckin swam across that lake together.
It's a great lake. That
was a good time. Some good male bonding there.
Great
that time.
Sacandaga Lake.
Yeah,
or
that's
Sacandaga.
Sacandaga.
But it's kind of it's not far from Lake George. More people know. Yeah.
Bad Mama Jama Lake.
People shouldn't go. It's actually like really quiet compared to Lake George. Lake George is really commercial. It's almost like Jersey Shore. They've got like carnies, they've got like rides and stuff. Like where my parents are, the lake's like 29 miles, I think. It's man-made. There was a dam.
Don't tell people because they'll go, because that's what, like, the places I went over the weekend upstate, I don't want to mention because that's where I want to go and pick apples and go pumpkin picking. I don't want to tell anybody where it is.
Well, the cool thing about where my parents
keep it for myself.
There's not a lot of that. Like, if you don't own property or know somebody who does, there's no like public beach that I know of. Like, I think you have to live there. And they try to keep it different than Lake George, which really like it's for the people who live around that lake.
Cool.
Which is cool.
That's cool.
It's super clean, man. That's what I love. Like, I love swimming over there. Let's take a break.
Yeah, let's get some more liquor, and we'll talk about some nerdy shit.
Yeah, we'll be back in a minute. So what we're drinking? This is a beer I picked up.
Yeah.
Do you like this? I like this.
I do. It like I tell you, it reminds me of that coconut beer we had when we were recording with the Practical Podcast ladies.
This is Anderson Valley from Boonville, California. It's a huge Arker bourbon barrel imperial stout, malt beverage aged 6 months in wild turkey bourbon barrels.
Wow.
And it has this is a pint. 1 pint, 6 ounces, and it's 13.5% alcohol by volume. Wow.
Yeah, baby. And I'm still drinking some of this Applejack. Woo! Applejack!
That's really good.
Hee-hee-wee!
That's really, really good.
Heat wave! I'm going to hit you with all meatball obsession! All of my annoying catchphrases.
You yell. We should at least eat a meatball obsession before you keep yelling it.
I know.
You might hate it.
No, I would hate a meatball obsession.
In theory, it sounds great.
I'll eat a Subway meatball sandwich.
Okay.
I love the Subway meatball sandwich because it reminds me of like school lunch.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like you really don't know where that meat's coming from.
First, my mother's meatballs are the best. They're the best.
I think you just named
and
the podcast.
Yeah, maybe.
My mother's meatballs are the best. No, they are good meatballs.
My friend who I was talking about
Your
earlier
mother's got some
episode,
great balls.
My friend who I was talking about earlier in the episode, he got so drunk once at my house that he wanted me to punch him.
Yeah.
You ever have a friend do that?
Of course, yeah.
You're not fighting.
No,
it's
he just wants to
punch me.
Me and Brian McGowan used to do that all the time.
Yeah, so similar thing. He started. So when I wouldn't hit him, he came at me, and then I did punch him, and he had a huge like lump on his head. He went down. He like knocked a couple chairs over and everything.
Jeez.
I was living at home at the time. It was going way back. My mother came downstairs, and she was like, "You have to leave," and he left. He came back. He left a note from my mom that was, "I'm sorry. I love your meatballs." So weird. It's like a crazy note. It's like, I'm sorry. I love your meatballs. But all my friends knew my mom made the best meatballs. And she made me, when I was working in a supermarket, this through high school and college, she made me a meatball sub. She took her meatballs, she put them on she had Italian bread. She made a hero.
Oh, you're getting me crazy now.
And you know, when you take something like that to work, you go to work, and what gets you through the day is that sandwich.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
It's all I'm
fine.
thinking of.
It doesn't matter.
Whoa.
All I got to do is I just got to do my job, and then it's going to be lunchtime, and I'm going to go, and I'm going to eat that sandwich. And I went up to the break room, and it looked like somebody fucked with the foil a little bit. Oh. And I opened it up, and there's the sandwich. and I opened the bread. Somebody ate the meatballs out of the sandwich.
No.
Put it back together and put it in the fridge.
Are you fucking serious?
And I'm 95% sure I know who it was.
Okay.
And he was this huge
Meatball Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, Meatball Dave.
I was
steals everyone's meatballs, Meatball Dave.
This is we're going back. Oh my God, 15 years or more.
Did you confront him? I would have slapped him in the face with that bread.
I did. He never owned up to it, but it's like, the reason I thought it was him is I would be in the break room and I would see him go into the fridge and like pick out a thing, and he like it had to.
Did he have like sauce on his cheeks? And he's like, "It wasn't me, man."
Yeah, I was so.
His breath smelled like Parmesan cheese. It wasn't me, I swear, man.
Worst day of my life.
That is a sucky day.
I'm still mad about that.
You know what I did once? It's not as bad, but I pissed off all of my peers in 5th grade. I went to see the Ninja Turtles movie. This is in 1990. I was in 5th grade.
The first one.
The first one. I remember it was like came out like March or something. I was so excited. And that night, me and my family got like Pizza Hut, and we were like, which is not good pizza at all. Like nobody should eat Pizza Hut, especially if you live in New York.
Pizza.
But it was Ninja Turtle pizza.
They didn't eat good pizza. Ever.
No.
I don't think I want to take the Ninja Turtles out for real pizza. Like I want to go to a good pizza. Like you're only putting candy bars on it because it sucks.
Yeah.
I want to take you to
jelly beans don't belong on a real pizza.
No. The best pizzerias on Staten Island don't deliver, and the ones that do deliver, they're not going to the sewer.
They're not going to the sewer.
You're getting the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
No, I want to take them out. Yeah.
Wise man say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for elite pizza. So I got this stupid Pizza Hut pizza, which I was so happy because it was Ninja Turtle pizza. And whatever I didn't eat, I had left over, and I brought it with me to school. Now, mind you, it's March, so it's still kind of cold. I brought it with me, and I put it on the radiator, so like by lunchtime it would be like kind of crispy, and it just made the whole classroom smell like pizza, and everyone was so mad like when I fucking ate it later. And I didn't share with them. Imagine like you're smelling pizza the whole time, and
all day,
and the fat kid in the back of the room is like the only one with those 2 slices of pizza, and he's gonna eat them in front of you.
That's a good lunch, man. I remember grammar school, like there was hot lunch and cold lunch, and like when you brought your own lunch
that's the lunch bell.
Cold lunch was never cool.
Yeah.
But my mom cooked.
Unless you had,
my mom was a good cook.
Shit.
I remember eating teriyaki chicken wings that my mother sent me to school with. And somebody was trying to pick on me for cold lunch, and I was just like, you are eating the worst.
Yeah.
At some point I owned it, and I was just like, my lunch kicks ass.
Yeah, you got teriyaki. What do you got? French bread pizza over there? What do you got? Maybe a Jamaican patty? Like, come on.
You know what you just reminded me of? It's just you unlocked like a weird nerdy memory with Ninja Turtles. I remember bringing in a small little bottle of what I told my friends was ooze from the Ninja Turtles. Was it
the hot sauce you made that you gave me some of? Because that's some good stuff.
That looks like it.
Yeah, it does look like
I made
ooze.
Chris jalapeno hot sauce.
Yeah.
It was Pert Plus.
You're a dick. It was shampoo. The Ninja Turtles wash their balls with this stuff,
man.
Man.
Make Pert Plus anymore? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I brought a small clear bottle of Pert Plus.
You're a dick.
And said it was Ninja Turtle ooze.
How many people did you fool with that?
Oh, they all were like,
oh, really? Oh, dude.
Yeah, I got the...
Watch out, Krang's coming for you, man. I'm not going to hang out with you.
I had the real... Yeah, I did that. It was a thing I just remembered. Like a travel bottle of Pert Plus shampoo. I said it was a Ninja Turtle.
Oh, that's miserable. That's hilarious.
Yep. I used to do shit like that all the time, man.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, just bring stuff to school and you'd be like, yeah, I got this thing. I had... I had an autograph of a tattooed lady. My grandpa.
Why? What?
Yeah,
You had an autograph of a tattooed lady.
Yeah. All right. So my grandpa.
Did she fit in a Pert Plus bottle?
Oh no, dude! This is the worst. My grandpa took me to it was like a circus, but it was like a circus.
Oh, this sounds familiar. I think you told me this.
They had been traveling. Maybe they've been traveling since the 1800s.
They're like really like biting
like,
chickens' heads off,
like
and
under
shit
the
like
radar.
that.
You come in, you do a show, and then you split before you get in trouble. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what it felt like. Because they had a bull that like sweat blood or whatever. They had like
a bull that sweat blood.
They had like weird shit. They had a wild gorilla, and I think I'm sorry if I said this on the podcast. We've done over 100. But they brought us into a tent, and there was just like a chimpanzee in a cage sitting. They brought everybody in the they filled the tent, and somebody definitely flipped a switch and started they electrified the cage, and the chimpanzee just like like screaming.
Oh God.
And then there was a tattooed lady, and outside the tattooed lady tent was a painting of a woman that was like a beautiful woman, tattooed, but like a young, beautiful woman. And you paid money, and you went in the tent, and this lady was like 100 years old with like super thick glasses, but tattooed like head to toe. Like she was like an old lady, and she had black and white postcards.
Oh boy.
And I got a postcard, and she autographed it. I got her autograph. That was like the first autograph I ever got.
What was her name?
The tattooed lady. I don't remember.
Oh.
And I lost it at some point because I brought it to school and told everybody it was my grandmother. It was like a weird thing that I did.
Why?
I was like, yeah, it was my grandma. I don't know why.
What? My grandma.
Fran, the tattooed lady or whatever. But that I never.
Fran, the tattooed grandma.
That's the thing I did in junior high school.
You're
And
a
then,
dick.
yeah, I know. I used to do shit like that all the time. But I don't. That photo. My mother was just asking me because my brother had it too. So I feel like between the two of us, there's got to be one. We had the worst autographs. We had her, and then we had a wrestler named Sunny Beach. That was like
Sunny Beach,
Sunny
like
Beach.
SUNNY or
Yeah.
SONNY.
I don't know. I mean, I think SU. I don't remember. But it was like the Showplace Bowling
Sunny
Center.
Beach
They were
makes
like,
me feel fine.
come down for this wrestling event, and the advertisements for it made it look like it was going to be like Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Ultimate Warrior, the Bushwhacker. Like it was going to be like the best. And we got there.
Now
and it
you
was
got Sunny Beach.
just Sunny Beach behind a folding table, signing like fucking Xerox copies of his face.
That's miserable.
Yeah, but you know it's funny when you're a kid. It's just like an autograph is like a rare so like I went home, I didn't know who Sunny Beach was, and I fucking hung that shit up. I fucking taped it up on the wall like I met Sunny Beach.
I was at the Sunny Beach.
I met Sunny Beach and the tattooed Irene. I met so many.
I might have a worse tattoo. I have a worse tattoo. Jesus Christ. We've been drinking a lot here.
Yeah, we have.
I might have a worse autograph, and it brings back the Ninja Turtles. There was a store they was selling these things called
What was it? I don't know what it was.
they were called Frookies.
You can't even say it. I don't know what it was.
They were called Frookies.
What the hell was that?
They were these cookies made from fruit juice. And it gave me diarrhea. They had a guy in a really bad Ninja Turtle suit signing these boxes of diarrhea. And my mom took me.
You had a signed box of
Frookies
from a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, but it was like it was the worst costume ever. And I was like teetering in that age where I was like, I kind of was pretending I thought it was real because I didn't want to let my mom down. and I ate these stupid cookies.
Oh,
It made me shit like a bastard.
There was Sonny Beach in a Donatello costume. That's all that guy did.
Sonny Beach, you're selling Frookies? Oh my god.
God damn it. I'm like sweating from laughing.
It's a heat wave out here.
Jesus Christ, that's funny, man. Oh, God. All right, what else did you...
Oh,
Is
Jesus.
it Suicide Squad time, or do you have other stuff?
Yeah, I saw Suicide Squad. It was cool. I don't know.
I didn't see it.
People are hating on this fucking movie, and I didn't mind it at all. I thought it was kind of fun.
I saw what you wrote, which was that you said Will Smith killed it.
Yeah, it was
and you
good.
said that Will Smith did the right thing by choosing this over Independence Day.
Without a doubt. I didn't see that Independence Day movie. I
didn't either.
I heard it's a total clusterfuck of a
Johnny
movie.
Pugs, by the way,
Johnny Pugs.
listener of the show over in Scotland. Johnny,
This is for you,
shout
Johnny.
out. I had a long Skype phone call with Johnny, and God, I enjoyed it so much, man. Moved to New York. I want to hang out. Nicest guy. His favorite movie is the original Independence Day, but he admits
Just because you see
it's
the White
very
House
much
get blown up?
Well, he's 29, about to turn 30.
Oh, really?
He's a
that
little bit
young?
younger. So
Oh,
when
I
you think
didn't realize
about,
that.
he was the right age for Independence Day. Even I liked Independence Day when I saw it, but he was definitely.
Me too, but I'm like 37 years old.
It makes a lot
I
of
didn't realize
sense.
he was that much younger.
But Will Smith. So he made the right choice. You said.
Dude, he was great in the movie.
And you said- you did
Margot
that thing-
Robbie was good in the
But
movie.
you did the thing we said. It's a good popcorn. You said it was fun, but it's not great, right? I mean,
because it's not all right. It's not like
And by the way, for anybody at this point, if you haven't seen it and you care,
yeah.
this is when you should stop listening.
I mean, I'm not
Thanks
gonna
for
get,
hanging out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get like heavily, crazily into spoilers.
Because it's not even about that, right? It's more your
No,
opinion.
there's one thing. Excuse me, that's kind of a spoiler, and I won't even bring it up.
But if you care,
Yeah,
now
it has
now's a
no
good time to
impact
tune
in the
out.
movie.
Okay.
It's just someone that pops up where you're like, oh shit, that guy, and then it has nothing. It has nothing to do with the actual movie.
It's Spider-Man?
It's yes.
I'll go see
You
it.
spoiled it. No, it's basically it's every criminal there was caught by Batman, except for one was caught by somebody else. And you see that person, you're like, oh, cool, somebody else in the Justice League, and they pop up.
Oh,
It's the Flash.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it TV show Flash? or-
No, that's the thing. They got other guy.
I don't get what
Flash.
they're doing. So
They're not tying the two together.
The Supergirl TV show. The big thing is like Superman's about to
Yeah.
make an appearance. It's some new Superman.
Because the
They-
movies and the shows are on a different
I know,
thing.
but DC, that's a mistake. Marvel,
yeah.
look at what Marvel's doing. Look at Netflix. By the way, it hasn't gone the other way yet, but Netflix, obviously, you see like the Hulk on TV.
Did you see the trailer for Luke Cage?
Yeah.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
that looks fucking cool.
But Marvel, look, everybody's out there looking at Marvel saying, how do we do what they're doing? Get your shit together.
yeah,
Everything should be connected. If your TV shows are kicking ass and you have a fan base that already likes a particular version of The Flash,
yeah.
stick with that.
You know what the
But
Marvel...
whatever, we've talked about that before. I don't understand what DC's
I'm gonna
doing.
say, you know what? This is something I don't hear anybody bring up in the argument of like why DC is not as good as Marvel. You know what? I'm Suicide Squad's over. I talked about Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad it was good. I liked it. It got panned.
I can wait for it to come
You
out.
can wait for it. Yeah, we don't even
Okay.
have to talk about. What I want to talk about is people are beefing about like, okay, the DC movies versus the Marvel movies. Why Marvel has the formula, and I've yet to hear anybody say that this is why. Honestly, the movies, they each have a different flavor to them. Like you watch the Thor movies, they're nothing like the Iron Man movies.
yeah.
You watch Captain America movies, they're nothing like the Ant-Man movie. Guardians of the Galaxy is nothing like Avengers. Where the 3 DC movies that came out are basically, they look exactly the same. They have the same tone. Even though Suicide Squad had a little more humor in it, and that was only we've heard because of like reshoots because of Deadpool killed it in the box office, and then also like they released a trailer with a little bit of comedy. They saw a lot of positive reaction for that, so they went back for reshoots to shoot more comedy into the movie. But it still has that same dark, like we're gonna wash all the colors out, make it a dark film. Which is weird because there are a lot of bright colors in Suicide Squad because they go for the whole Joker, pink and purple and green, but it's still like the main characters are very washed out. It's very drab. It's fighting in the dark in the rain. Yeah. Like that seems to be the DC formula. And I saw the trailer for Wonder Woman. I saw the trailer for fucking Justice League. They all look like that. And that's the problem. Is like DC don't make all these movies look exactly the same. And even the Netflix shows look different. Jessica Jones looks drastically different than Daredevil. Fucking Luke Cage looks like a blaxploitation film. It looks awesome. Well, I cannot wait for that.
We talked about it earlier. This is the perfect time to kind of plug our friend Vin Forte's podcast.
Yes, good old Vin.
Vin Forte, who does a podcast called Anytime with Vin Forte, just interviewed
Nicole Perlman.
Yeah.
She's the co-writer of the Captain Marvel movie. She worked on Thor. She worked on Guardians of the Galaxy.
But with Thor, because she's under contract with Marvel, she could only work with them. She came in for some character development and stuff. But one of the things she talks about a lot in that interview is how whenever she was working on a particular project, including her upcoming movie, they're thinking about everything Marvel's done.
Yeah.
They're thinking about everything DC has done.
Yeah.
She recognizes that Green Lantern's origin story. Yeah, we're drinking. Is very similar.
Yeah.
To Miss Marvel.
Completely. Yeah, it really is.
And the big reveal on Vin's podcast was that they're going to do a different origin story. But the fact that Marvel's creative team is looking at everything that's out there and saying each story has to be different than what's been done.
Yeah.
But they're also thinking about how it connects to the larger Marvel story because they want everything to kind of like, connect and intertwine and all that. It's a really cool interview because that's somebody saying, okay, this has been done. We have to, like, every movie has to have a slightly different feel. And Marvel is, and it's proven with that interview where she talks about how every movie that they work on, they want it to feel different and unique while fitting within that whole world. Where DC, like you said, it's kind of like...
looks the same.
Yeah. Looks the same, feels the same. And by the way...
Give us a different movie. Because you know what? I don't want to watch the Thor movies. So I don't have to watch the Thor movies. I enjoy them in the Avengers. I don't particularly like the Thor movies. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to mince words with it. Like they're not for me.
My favorite Marvel characters are always based in science. It's not... they're not gods.
Yeah.
And they're not magicians.
Not even that. Like, I don't mind.
But even Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange looks pretty cool.
I'm not a big Doctor Strange guy, but I like... Look, I was a Spider-Man guy.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange, that's who Spider-Man went to when he was just like, I'm fighting a vampire.
Yeah, like,
I don't know what to do.
What do
like,
I do,
need
Doc?
help. There's a bunch of demons. I need your help.
Yeah.
So, like, I like...
Well, plus Benedict Cumberbatch, man. I don't know how much...
He's great.
Do you watch any Sherlock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just started getting into... Like, I watched maybe, like, 4 Sherlocks.
No,
yeah, dude. I love the dude. Yeah.
He's phenomenal. That casting is amazing. And the thing is that, like, for the same reasons I loved him when he would come into the world of Spider-Man, I'm excited about his movie, and I hope it's good. I'm really excited about him now being a character in that world.
Yeah. When
the Avengers run into something supernatural, now they have a guy they can go to and say, what do we do? It was the same thing for me with...
The ghost of Thanos.
Reed Richards was the same thing.
Yeah.
Within Spider-Man, where it was just like he would go to Reed Richards and just be like, I need your help.
I need a way to fight Venom. That's how they beat Venom. He went to Reed Richards and he was like, I saw church bells kind of fuck him up. I need some kind of vibrating sound thingy. He created a sonic gun for fighting Venom.
Superman I loved as a really young kid because when you're pretending to be a superhero, why would you not want to be the guy who has everything?
Yeah.
But when you're looking for interesting stories...
Excuse me.
Spider-Man always had a broken rib. Iron Man was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Captain America was like plucked out of time and placed in like another like the Marvel characters are much they're just darker, they're more real.
Oh yeah, you got a guy like Daredevil. He could fucking beat anybody up, but he's blind. Like that sucks. But he's got amazing powers and this, but you're fucking blind.
Marvel wins. Batman's the one guy who could live in the Marvel universe. And not take
yes and no.
Yes and no. But for the most part, I've always been a Marvel guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to take for me to go out and then pay to see a DC movie at this point. I'm not that interested.
Suicide Squad's
would I like
seeing.
You know me. Would I like Suicide Squad?
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah. Well, because it's one of those movies where it has some really cool scenes, some really cool characters. By the end, it devolves into like this crap fest.
Was Harley Quinn good?
Yeah, she was really good.
Because
she's smoking. Margot Robbie is smoking.
I know, but here's the thing.
It's hard watching it and not just oh God, like she's smoking hot.
That I don't question at all, but there are fans of Harley Quinn who say that annoys them.
What? That she's hot?
This movie and you can answer this, and
Harley's always hot.
Yeah, but scantily clad and being slutty is represented in this movie and one video game.
No, she's not really slutty in the movie.
Okay, because the trailer
she's objectified. But she gets revenge on the people.
People who are fans of her say that okay, you're attracted to her as a character.
Yeah,
but she's not revealing any skin. She's very much
no from her appearance. Okay, so this is the deal with Harley Quinn. She's not an original comic character.
It came out of the cartoon.
The
90s.
The Batman animated series. She, Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, they created her. And then they were later, she was later retconned into the comics. There was this comic called Mad Love, where it kind of put her into the DC fold. So she's been in it ever since. And then when the New 52 started about 5-6 years ago, they made her part of Suicide Squad. So the movie is basically that Suicide Squad.
Okay.
There's an original Suicide Squad comic from the 80s written by John Ostrander, which is that's the real Suicide Squad. But the one you're getting the movie on is based on the New 52. That was the reboot they did about 5 or 6 years ago.
Not unlike Guardians.
Not unlike Guardians, exactly.
Yeah.
Guardians started in the 70s, but the version we're getting on screen is the Abnett and Lanning version from late 90s, early
and even
2000s.
Then, they went off on.
Yeah.
They took a lot of creative license.
Yeah, totally. Which they made it more pleasing for the audiences of today, which is exactly what you kind of need to do in any of these properties. You don't want these stale old characters from the 70s that are just, nobody's going to relate to them on film.
Mm-hmm.
Even Captain Boomerang, I'm surprised they put him in the movie because he's such a lame character. He's a Flash villain, but he's great in the movie.
Yeah.
But the dude throws boomerangs. That's his power.
But
okay.
Harley Quinn, is she a positive? Is she a good role model? Is she?
No. She's obsessed with the Joker.
Is she a strong female character?
Yeah, she's a strong female character. Like I said, she gets objectified in the movie by a couple of people, but she kind of gets the one up on them at some point.
That's what I'm curious about, because there are people who felt they really like her as a character and they were worried. And this is I'm talking about stuff I read based on trailers.
Yeah,
that she was going to be too slutty, too scantily clad,
and I'm surprised
too much of a victim of the Joker rather than in control.
No. She's her opening. All right, each of the characters, they kind of do an opening where they give them it's very comic booky, where it gives them their own secret history. Okay, this is Deadshot and he does this and it's full blown comic book in your face, splash pages, completely they're mimicking covers. You ever see that famous Alex Ross painting of the Joker and Harley Quinn? It's they recreate that.
Do you like that?
Yeah, same thing with Deadshot. There's this cover of him just with bullet shells raining all down on him. They kind of copied that as well.
Okay.
So like for each introduction of the character, they did something like that. With Harley's, they specifically said they're like, yeah, she's the Joker's girlfriend, but I mean, I don't remember verbatim, but it was something along the lines of like, she's like she doesn't have any fear of anything. Like she's worse than the Joker because she doesn't give a fuck, basically. Like she doesn't care. And there's like a scene straight up where...
Did he create her or did she choose to become who she was? Because that was one of the things I read about.
Yeah, she chose.
She chose?
Where in the comics, he more created her. Well...
Yeah, I mean,
she was a psychiatrist in an Arkham named Harley Quinn, and Joker was her patient, and she fell in love with him. Now in the comic, he kind of like pushed her in a vat of acid. It was like, "Hey, you become like me."
Okay.
But in the movie, he said, "Will you die for me?" And she's like, "Yes." And he's like, "Well, more importantly, would you live for me?" And she's like, yeah. And she jumps into the acid. And then he's just like, he walks away and then just like, and like jumps in and like grabs her. So like they have like a strong
That's
love.
interesting. And I wonder, there were a lot of reshoots on that because I'm going back. People were looking at the trailer. I feel like they felt like he was pushing her in or something. I wonder if they changed that at all. I'd have to go back.
There was a part in the trailer where, I mean, it was the way it was cut. You could tell now.
Yeah.
But you hear him laughing, and Harley goes, "Oh no!" Like, "Oh no, the Joker, he finally caught up with me." The sadistic creep. That's.
Yeah.
But when you watch the movie, you could tell like they were completely taken out of context and cut together.
That's something people were concerned about.
Yeah.
Okay,
No. They have a like their story is pretty good, and the whole movie is him. Like it's a subplot. It's not the main plot, but he's trying to like get to her.
Do you like him as a Joker?
I don't know if I like him, but I found him interesting.
And the reason why I ask is just I would imagine that. See, that's already not a great react because Marvel, everything's connected. What you want is to be like, oh, now I want to see a Batman movie with Ben Affleck versus...
No, see, I don't even like Ben Affleck as Batman. I like Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne. I don't like his Batman.
Yeah.
But Joker is literally, like, visually it's rough because I'm not that type of guy. You're like me. I don't have a tattoo. I'm not into that type of shit. That's very, like, Joker's very, like, a hot topic. He had sex with Ed Hardy. And that's the whole character.
Yeah, he's a hot topic.
He's a hot topic Hardy.
Okay,
just that's that whole thing. And I don't buy Joker as a gangster guy. To me, the Joker is he's just completely, he does his own thing. He's not involved in organized crime. You don't like him as like
organized crime?
No.
So even Jack Nicholson Joker bugs you?
A little bit, yeah. Because I don't like the organized crime. I like the Joker like saying like, I don't care. I like the Heath Ledger Joker where it's like, I don't care about money. I'm going to burn this money. I'm just about chaos. Yeah. I just want to flip this guy out because I'm fucking nuts and I know he's nuts, but he's on a different nuts. And I just want to drive him fucking crazy like I am.
What's that whole theory that he's the hero in that movie?
Oh, I love that.
That's a great theory.
Whoever wrote that is fucking brilliant.
Yeah. You can Google that if you're listening, but the idea is that the Joker the whole time is actually looking to kind of save Gotham.
He's the hero of the Dark Knight movie.
It's look it up. You can find that pretty easily. We can't get into that now. We got to wrap it up.
Speaking of theories, really quickly, did you hear about the Berenstain Bears parallel universe theory?
No.
Okay. I'm just gonna leave it like that on a cliffhanger.
Do you want to save it or do you want to get into it?
I'll save it. Look, we got to wrap up. Yeah, we got to wrap it up, right?
No, we'll save it.
Yeah, we'll save it.
Okay.
If you want to, you people at home, if you want to Google it, check it out. But
do some homework before you come back. I don't know anything about this.
It's really odd. It's bizarre. We got to wrap it up. I'll get into it next time.
All right.
Well,
we're gonna do a live show.
Oh,
We're gonna be back. We're gonna be back at the Culture Lounge, which is at the Staten Island Ferry Terminal.
The super secret show.
Yeah, on the Staten Island side of the Staten Island Ferry Terminal, and it's gonna be a Friday night. That is August 26th at 8:00.
Holy moly!
I'm not sure who the guest is going to be yet, but it's going to be a good one. We've got it.
Might be. I think the guest might be John's mom's meatballs. Karate chopping their way into your heart.
Oh, it's going to be so good though. But it starts at 8:00. It's a $5, but that gets you into our show, but also the stand-up show that follows, and they show videos all the time. It's
such
a great
good show. It's so fun, and then you get to hang out. We're gonna hang out afterward. You get to have a couple of beers, a couple of cheers.
It's a blast. That's the biggest thing that I want to plug right now.
Yeah.
Anything you want to plug?
September 3rd, my band, the Wahoo Skiffle Crazies.
Yeah.
We will be at the Winner's Circle in Hanover, Pennsylvania. Time to be determined, but sometime at night. So if you're over in Pennsylvania, come join us. We have a good time over there.
Nice.
Yeah, we have some good friends over there. Some couple of bands. Going to be a good time. And then September 24th, we will be playing at Westfest at the Westerly Park in beautiful Staten Island, New York.
It's by my old apartment.
Yes, it's right down the block from you.
I do that every year. It's great.
Yeah, we'll be there this year.
Not only
Time
great
to be
bands,
determined
but
as
they
well.
have they have people out selling like arts and crafts.
Yes,
there's a lady there who sells like different like jellies and jams and stuff.
Yes,
she makes a raspberry jalapeno jam.
I bought a bacon something jam.
Yeah, she makes like a
and
bacon thing. Yeah,
I just want to
I've
rub
had
it
that
on my
too.
dick and dance around.
The raspberry jalapeno thing, what she told me, and it's one of my favorite things. It's like on a cracker, slice of cheddar cheese, raspberry jalapeno jelly or jam, whatever it is, and sliced red onion.
Oh, it's like McSorley's almost.
It's phenomenal,
but with the sweet.
It's so good.
Yeah.
People should go. It's a fun day out in a really nice park on Staten Island. People should do that.
Yeah, come hang out. I'll be
What day
there
is
all
that?
day. September 24th. I think it's a Saturday.
Nice. I'm excited to hear about the Berenstain Bears.
Oh God,
you're gonna save it. Don't forget it.
Dude, it's
Don't forget.
weird. It's weird. I just want to ask you.
I don't want to know. I don't.
No.
Ahead,
I just want to ask you one thing. Do you remember it as the Berenstain Bears or the Berenstein Bears?
Oh, this is a whole thing, right? I think I always said Berenstain.
You don't remember an E in there, or do you remember an A?
Well, the whole thing is like whether it's Baron or Bear too, right? Like, isn't that?
No, it's.
What is it? What's
right.
the name of the book we loved?
Well, that's the thing.
My favorite one was The Spooky Old Tree.
That's racist.
Sorry. Good night, everyone. Good night. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, you know what my favorite one was? When the sister told the brother to fit it where he shit it.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite too.
Yeah.
Bye.
Hey, guys, you are listening to
The
Super
Live
Adventure.com. What? I don't know why I said that. That was great.
Well, you're listening to the Super Live Adventure podcast.
Yes.
I'm John Saluga.
I'm ChrisArtino.com.
And what you're about to listen to is actually an episode we recorded months ago.
Yeah.
If you listen to episode 106,
which was the Frookies episode.
One of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, me too.
We had so much fun recording that night that we recorded another one after it.
Yeah.
And we decided to keep it around for a while because regular listeners might know my wife and I have been expecting a child. If you're listening to this right now, it means that kid was born.
The day has come.
And so we wanted to have an episode ready to go. And actually, we're going to have 2 episodes ready to go. So
double bang it.
So this week and next week, you're going to hear previously recorded episodes.
But again, dropping a deuce.
All new. We didn't want to leave you guys without some fresh episodes. And this is a very different one for us because we normally drink on this show.
Mm-hmm. Every episode.
There might have been a couple where one of us took a break.
I think I had that surgery, so I was like, I'm only going to have wine tonight.
There's a lot of that shit. Yeah, it's a lot of me going like, I have a cold, I'm just going to sip some whiskey.
Yeah. Oh, there's when Ezra, last time our good friend Ezra Donnellan, who does our theme song.
That's right.
He's sober. I think I had like 1 beer in solidarity. But I couldn't not have such a horrible friend.
Well, after episode 106, Chris and I, we smoked.
Yeah.
Which, for those of you who listen a lot, you may know that that's a thing I didn't do for most of my life.
Yeah.
Never in high school, never in college. Something I started doing later, and for such an old man reason. It's because I have sleep apnea, and for me, it helps tremendously if I need to sleep. If I smoke a little bit, I actually make it through the night, which is something that does not happen for me.
We were smoking moon rocks.
Well, that's it. So we smoked together, which is not something we do.
No.
I don't like to do it socially. I don't do it out. And then you pulled out moon rock. You want to explain what moon rocks are?
Oh, moon rocks, it's like this really good green bud of weed, and then it's like drizzled with the wax, like the marijuana wax, and then it's rolled in like or sprinkled with keef, which is like pure THC. So it's like rocks of that, and they fucking look like moon rock, like
yeah.
They look like the guy's head from the Flintstones, like no, heavens to Megatroid.
Well, we got fucked up.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to it?
Yes, I don't remember. I was probably stoned also when
you listened to it?
I'm always stoned. If I'm not on this show, I'm stoned. If I'm on the show, I'm drunk.
Well, I'm asking because we were on the fence about releasing it.
Yeah.
And then when I listened to it, it's a very different episode. Like the tone is different.
Yeah.
But it's not bad.
No,
it's not bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do a bunch like this, but I'd say you're in for a special treat. And you know what? Now that I have to be a responsible adult for a while, why not listen?
Gave up the moon rocks.
The moon rocks. But why not listen to me be drunk and stoned and doing an episode, really continuing a really funny night, because episode 106 was one of the best. I don't even know what episode number this is because, again, we're just putting right now. Chris and I, it's November, and we're recording an intro for an episode we did over the summer.
Yeah,
it's all kinds of backwards. But
it's like the Back to the Future trilogy happening right now. We're jumping back and forth through time too much.
Yeah,
we don't know. All we know is the Cubs did win the series.
Yeah, we do know that.
Yeah, but so we do reference stuff from episode 106, and we do talk about stuff that we wound up talking about on episode 107.
Yeah,
which
that's
is 106 was the episode Frookies, and 107 was the episode The Salamanca Bell.
Yeah,
so. This is kind of if you're a continuity weirdo like I am, this fits right in between episode 106 and 107.
Yeah, this is like 106.5.
Yes.
We're treating like a new episode, but you're right.
It's my favorite radio station.
And if you're a new listener,
all year long.
Is that 106?
No,
106.7.
Yeah, and it's like Christmas after the day after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want year round.
Yeah. Oh, that's 106.5. When I buy my radio station, it's going to be year-round Christmas carols.
Well, I think that's enough of an intro.
Yeah.
And I hope people enjoy it. And if you don't, that's okay. It's a different one.
That's right.
It's
Take
a
a trip
one.
through time with us and help celebrate the birth of a baby Zaluga.
That's right. And
congratulations, by the way.
Thanks, dude.
You got it.
And next week there'll be another episode that we have ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
We won't be stoned for that one.
Well,
and then we'll be back. That's true. We haven't recorded it yet. But I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Again, check out superliveadventure.com. If you want to send us a message, you can call us at 781-POD-SLAP, or you can email us at slap@superliveadventure.com. And that's it.
All right.
Enjoy the show.
Bye.
Bye. check. Hey.
Check it out.
At one point, I lowered myself a lot.
Check it
I don't know why.
Check it out.
All right. We are good. Oh.
Hey, you are possibly, we don't know yet. You might be listening to episode 106?
106. It's a possibility that is what you're listening to. No.
We don't,
Maybe 107.
107?
Could it be 107?
I don't know.
It's possible that this is 107.
Wait, what's the other one? Wait.
108?
104, 105.
You're out of your mind.
105's next. No, it's 106. It's 106.
108.
It's 106.
I'm going with 108. Welcome to the Super Live Adventure Podcast.
Yes, I'm
you.
Who are you? What?
I am John Saluga.
I'm Chris Sarin. You're almost there. Sorrentino.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
Oh man. So
I'm glad we finally did that. We've been working on that.
Finally did this.
You guys don't know. We've been working on that for years. It finally happened.
I mean, it takes a lifetime.
Oh, dude. Okay, this is the episode where we are. All right, the last episode we recorded 8.3.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah, episode digit. We were drinking, so now we're having some coffee.
Yeah,
and we're just chilling out. We're just relaxing.
Yeah.
So it's every time I take a bowl hit, I'm gonna ring the bell.
And every time I take a sip of coffee, I'll get slightly more excited.
We've been chilling. We've been chilling for a little while.
It's good coffee.
Oh man, yeah.
It's Keurig.
It's Pete's. Yeah, the Keurig.
You don't worry about
the
it
key
at all?
cups.
I worry about.
What do you worry about?
You're pouring hot water through plastic.
Oh God, what dioxides?
Oh, all the oxides.
Oh,
everyone.
I'm worried about every oxide.
The worst oxides.
Peroxide.
Oh,
carbon monoxide.
Don't even get me started.
Bonafide oxide.
Yeah. Oh.
Country fried ox fried.
Ox fried? Now you're frying it?
Yeah. Country fried oxide. country fried ox fried.
Yeah. I can go for some of that. Well,
yeah.
We were talking before a little bit.
Yeah.
About when we were kids. And we were talking about Brad Wesley.
Yeah, so
I told you a story.
You told me a story about you. No. Because the last podcast you talked about you were smuggling Burt Plus into school.
Yes.
And showing kids and going, "This is the ooze that made the Ninja Turtles into Ninja Turtles."
Right.
They made 4 ordinary turtles into Ninja Turtles, guys. You know what I mean?
And it was a bottle of Burt Plus.
It was a bottle of Burt Plus shampoo. So you're telling me next about Ghostbusters 2 slime? Like, what's the story with Ghostbusters?
Melted strawberry ice cream, which definitely got really gross.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I had both, man.
I had both. Yo, you want Ninja Turtles? You want Ghostbusters? What you want? I got both. What you want, man?
Yeah, that's what I brought to school.
Good for you. This guy's hustling. Turtles
but
and Ghostbusters.
We were talking about kids that made things up in school, and you believed it. And Brad Wesley was the only kid in school who beat the original Legend of Zelda for the NES. And I remember...
original Legend of Zelda.
Oh, you know, maybe it was James Orlando.
Wait, it's a totally different kid?
Yeah.
Wait, this is a totally different part of Florida.
Yeah, I think it was James Orlando. His cat scarred his face.
Wait, what?
He had a scar on his nose from his cat. And his mom made him tuna every day.
His cat like scratch him or bit him?
His cat scratched his nose.
So give him
and every day
scar?
he ate tuna fish without mayonnaise. It was just like tuna
cat food. This is this guy's secret origin. Maybe he got scratched by a radioactive cat, and he was like, "I only have to eat cat food. I only have the abilities of a tabby cat."
It was tuna in the shape of a can on bread.
This dude was Catman.
He might have been the guy. I don't remember.
He might have been Catman.
He might have been the guy.
Mild mannered reporter
who said that he beat Zelda, and at the end it was like a movie. It was just like
wait, this is what he told you?
They fell in love. They rode out on a horse. There's fireworks. He was just making up stuff that doesn't even sound exciting now. But when we were kids, if like Super Mario turned at you and winked, you got a hard on. Like nothing fucking happened before that.
Dude, I remember in Metroid when you found out that the guy you're playing as is a girl.
Yeah.
I was like, holy jeez. And she's like, not even like, oh, it's a girl. It's like they put her in like a bathing suit and she's like dancing around in a bikini. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like,
it was,
that's
not that
Not only is she a girl, but wow, what a girl. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Tits, 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 nipples, tits, boobies, tits. Mammy. And that's how it ended. And we were fine with it because it was Japanese.
Yeah. That's right. Oh, shit. Oh, God.
That's how the 80s were, man. Remember the 80s? Dude, the 80s are... dude,
the best.
I
mean, I loved it. It was really like...
I miss the 80s. The 80s were the best time ever.
And you know what? For those who came before us, it was just like... I feel like things are starting to change with technology and stuff. So like, oh, these kids, blah, blah, blah. But like we were there when it was new and exciting. We didn't take anything for granted. Like I love that. Like
I can't imagine a time in my life where there were no video games.
I used to put a floppy disk. I put a floppy disk into a computer and I had to type several lines of code to play a game on the Commodore 64.
Yeah. No, can you imagine a time before that where you did not have a computer, a video game, anything like that? That's berserk.
It was that and an Atari 5200, which I would love to play now. And you can get.
I had a 26.
You can get a working 26, which is the classic. You can get I think it's a 72, which plays 72 games, and the original 26. The system that I loved was the flop in the middle. No one...
Johnny loved the flap in the middle. Flop in the middle. Flop in the middle. Oh, no, I love the flop in the middle. That was his hit in 98. You don't remember that?
Yeah.
Flop
98 was the best.
Flop in the middle. Everybody know I love the flop in the middle.
Yeah.
Flop in the middle.
Yeah.
Flop in the middle.
Yeah.
Everybody know the flop in the middle. Bad boy. That was John. You don't remember that?
That was me.
That was you.
Yeah.
It was good times.
The best of times. Flop in the middle.
Flop in the middle.
Flop in the middle.
Dude,
we just quit everything now.
Yeah, no, we got to hit record.
We're done.
We're done. Money in the bank.
Flop in the middle.
Flop in the middle.
Money in the bank with my flop in the middle.
Flop in the middle.
Anything.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Yummy in my tummy with my flop in the middle.
Flop in the middle. Gonna eat a McGriddle with a flop in the
middle. Oh, we're done.
Yeah.
Well,
money. hand over fist. Money being printed.
But just in case,
yeah.
let's keep going. There's gold on the horizon.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Sip my coffee. It's going to be a light bell, a dainty coffee bell.
Coffee bell.
Yeah, coffee bell.
Coffee's up. It sounds like that type of bell. Coffee's up.
Yeah.
In a diner. All right. So I hinted at something before. Last episode about the Berenstain Bear parallel universe theory.
Yes.
Now, you revealed something to me when we were talking about it. You remember Berenstain with an A. Do you remember, like, Berenstein or Berenstain?
I think we said the Berenstain. I think we said Berenstain in my house. Yeah.
I don't remember. I remembered it as Berenstain. And so apparently did a lot of other people. And it's this whole theory that somebody went back in time and changed something. And for that reason, we have Berenstain Bears instead of Berenstein Bears.
Okay.
Because a lot of people remember it as Berenstain.
Yeah.
And honestly, I that's why I asked you before. I was like, how do you remember it as? I never remembered it as Berenstain. It was Berenstain. I remember too saying like, it sounds very Jewish to me. I was like, I always associate them with being like Jewish bears.
Associated. Funny, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's a good Japanese fusion, maybe.
That's a mutant bear.
All right.
So, but apparently
the Berenstain. That's what I said. Berenstain Bears.
Yeah. I remember as the Berenstein Bears with an E, and that's a lot of other people do. And I'm going to ask people who are listening, like, let us know what you thought, if you remembered it as Berenstain or Berenstein.
And it's, I would say, though, like, most likely how your parents read it to you.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like that's where I would get it from.
I could just, the A looks out of place to me. I could just always picture an E there. And so it's like a huge thing where some guy even wanted to, like, I think he's doing this. I mean, it's hard to tell now.
He doesn't believe that it's what it is?
He's reading the stories to his daughter. Oh, sorry. He's reading the stories to his daughter, and then he's taking the books away when she's like 10. And then when she's 25, I mean, we're taking a leap here. When she's 25, he's going to ask her, what were the name of those bears?
Yeah, but
just to prove this theory.
You already said he's reading it to her.
Yeah.
How is he saying it?
No, but that's true. But I assume leaving the books with her. All right, it's if I read a book, 9 times out of 10, one of the kids goes,
you're saying,
I want the book. I want to sleep with the book. It becomes like a whole thing. Like, I get the book tonight. No, I get the book. No, I'll stab you. I will kill you. And they get crazy over the book. I get the book tonight. I'll poke your eyes out when you're sleeping. It gets crazy. And they're like, guys, stop. No one's poking anyone's eyes. I'll poke them out with my dick.
We never shut the
air conditioner.
I'm going to shut it.
You going for it? No. We're already going with it. Oh, it's going to get so hot. We're in the middle of a heat wave. Oh, everybody knows about this heat wave. Oh, little Johnny killed my spirits.
No, I put the headphones on. I realized what we were going to make people listen to. I'll filter it out.
Okay.
But it'll probably sound like we're in a tin can.
I trust in you. Listen. Sometimes.
It feels like we've been doing this for hours.
Yeah.
It's fun. Guess how long?
Less than a half hour.
15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy Jesus. Yeah.
How do we talk this much every week?
I don't know.
This is insane.
I do not know.
I don't, this is all very new to me. I don't smoke much, and I don't in the company of others. I don't know how I am. I do it to fall asleep. Oh, you're going for more.
Yeah.
You're a pro, man.
I am off tomorrow. I do not care.
I'm off too.
Why
but
not?
I'm just trying to keep my shit together.
No, fuck it.
There he goes. But this is this is something else, man.
I still listen. No matter what, I'm gonna be woken up tomorrow. Why not have fun now?
Hey,
You
I'm
know
with
what I mean?
you.
Like I'm gonna get woken up by like 6:30.
I am
it.
off right now. I have nowhere to be. Where are you going? You're leaving me to talk all by myself.
I'm getting this.
Careful.
The blowtorch.
Hey, the blowtorch. There he goes. All right. Nostrovia.
I wasn't kidding. That's a blowtorch,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there's a blowtorch.
All right. So I don't know if you want to know any more about this Berenstain Bear thing.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Apparently, it's related to the Mandela effect, which is when Nelson Mandela died, a large group of the population thought he died in prison. Apparently, he didn't die in prison.
Right.
Yeah, but a lot of people remember him dying in prison. So they attribute this to that, like where people think the Berenstain Bears were spelled with an E instead of spelled with an A. I said spilled. Right? Man,
I don't get the connection. Like Nelson Mandela, they remembered two things:
no,
that he was in prison and that he died, and they put that together. But how does that? I don't get how that connects to this.
Because it's some kind of false memory thing.
Oh,
Where people think because there's a false memory, there's a parallel universe. It's like it's an actual fucking theory going on right now. It's bizarre.
Well, I'll have to look into it.
You should make it a priority. That's bizarre. It's an actual fucking theory. But it's true. I do remember Berenstain with an E. I honestly do. Because I always remember thinking those weird Jewish bears.
Well, that's the fan.
Oh.
Yeah. That's all right.
Is that bad? Is that killing the audio?
I hear it.
You want me to kill it?
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll kill it.
Or I'll filter. I mean, I'm going to try to filter as much out as I can.
All right. I'm gonna
you know what? What do you want for free?
This one might not even see the light of day anyway.
Yeah, you never know. I think it's all right so far. Oh, that's your incense box. I was looking at that before.
Yeah, when I was in upstate, man, I went to this place. It's called Sugarloaf.
Yeah.
And it's this town. It's like all originally crafted with like artisans, and they would just rent spaces there and sell their stuff. And when I went there, it was like this lady who had this like incense stuff. She was doing like palm reading and shit like that. There's another guy who made candles, and it was bizarre. He made tons of different candles, tons of different colors, different sizes, different everything, but they all had the same scent. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, there's tons. You see candles everywhere, but they all smell the same. And the name of this place was called Sugarloaf, and this guy was this weird burnt out old hippie, and I'm like everything smells the same. But what's that smell? He goes, Sugarloaf.
Sugarloaf.
He was just so happy.
Wow.
Like, yeah,
it's all Sugarloaf?
Yeah, I was like, I'll buy a candle. This guy was so nice. Everything was Sugarloaf. But dude,
was it good? It smelled good though?
Yeah. Oh, it smells really good. Yeah, it's somewhere in the kitchen.
Hey,
the whole town it was really cool. Like it was like all different. There's a guy selling records. I bought a bunch of records, and God, there's shit like, oh, dude, there's somebody selling driftwood, and I bought driftwood I'm gonna paint on.
Oh, so you paint on it?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was like, all right, cool. Like, but
That's
where else are
awesome.
you gonna find somebody selling driftwood? I was like,
Yeah.
oh, perfect. Like for me, I understand people like driftwood. It's like buying cardboard. Get the fuck out of here, asshole. But no, seriously, for somebody like me, I'm an artist. Like I would like my like ideal dream. Like imagine most people, like what's their like dream in life? It's like, oh, I want to go to like Vegas with a ton of money and hookers, and like my dream is like
That's what everybody says.
that's everybody. Everybody in the world. Not even like most guys you talk to,
Yeah.
like my age range. Like think about like if you had one night to yourself, what would you do?
Right.
Like you could do anything and not pay any penalty. The wife's never gonna know about this one, guys. Wink, wink. Like one of those, like
I'm not answering this.
no, like a bad, like a cheesy, some bullshit. Mine would be to be alone in a barn, painting.
Yeah, that's all you
Yeah.
want.
That's all I want out of life.
You can get that.
Alone, just I know, and I have, and that's why I'm happy.
Yeah. Not bad, man.
Yeah, I mean it's few and far between. I get alone time, but the time I got to spend with people at home is always a good time. The time I got to spend with people outside of home, 90% of the time, it's not good time.
Right.
But at home, everybody's chill, and I get to do my thing, and I am happy for that.
Yeah.
I'm a happy dude, man.
Things are good.
Things are very good. It feels good to be happy because you know what? I'm approaching 38 years old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 38 years old. So, Jesus. Sometimes it's weird. You got to, like, think about... I think past the 30s, you got to, like, think about your actual age. You know what I mean? Like, I never remember between, like, 35 and 39, it's a blur. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I could say anything. Like, now, it's like, oh, yeah, 38. I will be 38. But you know what I mean? Like, you're not counting the years like you were, like,
I
no,
know.
I'm 19 and a half in a month. Like,
Oh,
you know what I
no,
mean?
no.
Like,
40 is a scary one.
yeah, but you start kind of losing it. You're not thinking about it as much. So yeah, I will be 38, and it's just it's odd. It's just really odd when I think about
My
it.
stepfather got wrecked on his 40th birthday.
I will be
think
wrecked on my 40th.
I think I told the story where we were having a party at the house, and he got so drunk that he passed out before the party started. So people came to the house, and he was in bed upstairs.
Good for him.
Yeah,
That's the way you do it, dude.
and I talked to him after that because
wrecked.
since then he's turned 50, he's turned 60. I was like, why was 40 so bad? And he was just like, because there was something about, he's like, in my head, wherever you're at 40 is where you're at.
You just stuck at that point.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
by the way, that's not necessarily true. As a guy who's like a big fan of comedy, like Rodney Dangerfield
Yeah.
didn't hit it until he was in his 60s.
Yeah.
But I also I remember it hit me like a ton of bricks because I also kind of get that. It's just like,
Yeah.
if you don't have it at 40, when? Whatever it is you want to do, whoever it is you want to be, if you're not that at 40, when is that going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was like, he didn't think he was saying anything that deep. He's just explaining why he got stupid. But I was a kid, and that stuck.
What was that?
An angel?
Angel
got its wings. Yeah.
Zeus's paddles.
I just told a sweet story about getting
did.
drunk on your birthday.
What?
Getting drunk on your birthday.
What?
What are you saying?
On my
What?
birthday?
Can I do a whole show as my mother?
That would be amazing.
Ugh.
No.
You're
Can we
getting
have your
excited
mother as a
already.
guest? If my mother, oh geez, I tried to spin a lighter on my finger like I was a gunslinger, and I was like, yeah, hey John, I'm cool.
It's
Look
fun.
how cool I am,
It's
John.
fun. Half a turn.
And it fell out of my
And it's-
fat sausage finger. It's like two sausages picking up a piece of fennel. It's the worst. The worst over here. You don't ever want to be over here. It's the worst.
Oh, God.
I'm ashamed of myself. The worst.
Where were we? Talking about
your
my
mother
mother.
should host a show. At least be a guest.
Dude,
If my mom was around, I would definitely do her on the show. You should do your mom on the show.
I've been.
We should do wives on the show. We should do moms on the show.
Okay.
We should do kids on the show. We've done kids, kind of.
We've done
We
kids.
got to get your kids.
They don't know better.
It's gonna
but
happen.
Wives and moms
It's
don't
gonna happen.
want to do it.
Yeah, I know.
and
my wife doesn't want to do it, but I want to make her do it.
I would love to record my mother just telling stories. A lot of what I do is storytelling, and a lot of those stories are her stories, and when she tells them, they're so much funnier. And that's the reality. Like, I come from a family
I know.
of really funny storytellers.
Your mom is great. Even fucking guy is great.
And that's, no one ever considered themselves to be a comedian except maybe my grandfather, because he definitely was a real showman. He sang, he did magic, he was.
Grandfather was amazing.
A huge part of the reason why I do this, like having that guy as an influence while also going through parents getting divorced and stuff, it was like the perfect storm.
I can only imagine the time you spent with your grandfather, because the small, compared to the time you spent with your grandfather, the small amount of time I spent with your grandfather, I always enjoyed, and I always loved your grandfather. So I can only imagine, like, dude, he was great.
My wife watches America's Got Talent, and there's always like right now there's a couple big magic acts that are in the final weeks of the show, whatever they call it, and Christine hates watching it with me because I ruin every magic trick. Like, I can break down why a lot of that stuff is done, and it's all because my grandfather did magic.
Yeah,
like he would like show me that kind of stuff, and she's just like, I can't watch magicians.
There's one trick I cannot figure out. It's when you go to Disneyland.
Yeah,
there's a magic shop. It's like the magic shop that Steve Martin worked in.
Yeah. Oh, did you read Born Standing Up?
No.
Oh, I should let you borrow it.
Yeah, please.
He talks all about Disney's
really?
like half that book.
Yeah, dude, he started it. It was, dude. There's this trick, and there's apparently like I think one of his tricks is, it's like this card that you just throw and it just spins around you. I cannot figure out for shit how it does it.
Ah.
Like it spins around your body and you just catch it in one hand. It's crazy.
That's cool.
Like I cannot.
Is a card made a certain way, or it's how they throw it?
I don't know, but the way they throw it's almost like it's on.
I did a cool trick.
A track. It's berserk.
My brother and I, because of my grandfather too, we used to do like card tricks together.
Oh yeah,
we did stuff like psychic stuff. Like my brother would leave the room, you'd pick a card, he'd come back in, he'd know what card you picked.
Really?
Yeah. And it was all code. You know what I mean? Like I'd put my hand a certain way, and he would know what card it was. Like we had a whole.
Get the fuck out of here! Really?
We used to do stuff like that all the time.
That's awesome.
And we
for what though? Like parties?
Yeah, like with family. We get together at like the holidays, and we do like a card trick for like aunts and uncles.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And our big finale was that we had a card trick where I had like a deck of cards, and you would like pick two cards, and they were like hijackers, and the like hijackers were like trying to hijack a plane to get to the spy that was on the plane. So you take the two cards, and I'd put them on either side of the deck, and then I would like take the deck of cards, and there was a way that you hold a deck of cards. I learned this from like this magic book. You had a deck of cards, but the top card was you'd slide it back a little, and the bottom card you'd slide back a little, and you'd pinch them tight, and you could throw the whole deck of cards out of your hand while holding two cards.
Really?
Yeah.
This is amazing. You never told me.
So there was that, and then the next step to the trick was you would have another card that was slightly back, but not as far back as the two cards you were pinching, so that when the deck flew out, you would be holding two cards, and one card would fall out on the floor. So this is what the magic trick was. It was because I haven't thought about this since I was a kid, but it was like a deck of cards, and you would pick two cards, and those were like the federal agents.
Okay.
And it was like the hijacker was like a jack or whatever. You know, there was like a card in there, and they would board the plane to catch.
That's racist.
But it was cool. You take it and you would like have them. You would have them stick it anywhere in the deck, but you would know how to like manipulate the cards and everything. We do this whole trick, and the story was like the plane takes off, and I would throw a deck of cards across the room. All the cards would stay together in the air to my brother, and he'd catch them. And they're gonna catch this guy, and the plane takes off, and I'm holding the two federal agents, and this hijacker tumbles to the floor like he jumped out and got away. Like that was like the whole trick.
That's insane.
And we're two children doing little card tricks, and then we do this big trick where I throw a whole deck of cards across the room, and everybody's like blown away, or I throw a whole deck of cards at my brother's head, and cards just fucking go because when you fuck it up.
So you fucked it up?
Oh, God. We did it both ways. Sometimes we threw it, and it was like I was Houdini. It was adults were blown away. And other times, I would just throw cards all over the fucking room while my brother tried to catch them, and it all ended. It was either.
How many times were you called upon by the family to perform this?
Well, we would do it for different sides of the family at like different holidays. I think it set me up for stand-up because it's either like.
You gotta know your audience,
total
bro.
Success or it's all failure. Like if I didn't nail
Holy
that,
shit.
if you didn't pinch the cards and line them up just right, you just fucking threw cards all over the room, and everybody's looking at you, and you go, "Well, let me do it again."
You didn't pinch it right.
Do you know how long it takes to pick up cards?
Boo! You didn't pinch it right. Get better at pinching. Boo! You're my aunt. Stop.
That's there you go.
You're my aunt.
That's my childhood with the half of the family where we messed it up. It's either, dude, it really is. It's either the best trick in the world or the worst trick in the world.
The one that gets you written off
it's
of will.
the worst. Like, they wasted so much of my time.
You wasted my Christmas.
I'm still finding cards in this house. I'm still.
It's 18 years later, and I found a card in my radiator. I hate you, Johnson. Look at it. I hate you. I hate you and your card trick.
Oh, man.
Holy
Magic.
shit. I didn't know you were magical.
Yeah, I loved magic.
You're...
I loved magic. We went to the South Street Seaport. Remember in the mall there, they had like a magic shop?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's a long time
Every
ago.
kid
That's
goes home with a
real
magic
long time
trick.
ago.
Maybe you do it, maybe you don't, but every kid goes home with a magic trick.
You know
I had
what-
like a cup trick with like a cotton ball.
Okay, yeah, like the shell, the shell game. I was a big, you know what I was big with? Oh God, what's the name of it? Johnson Smith, the Johnson Smith catalogs. You ever see those catalogs you get in the mail, and it would have like 10,000 things you never knew existed. You know what I'm talking about?
It's some weird sounds, but yeah.
Ooga.
But yes, I do
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
Johnson Smith,
And I wanted
10,000
everything.
things.
I wanted everything in those.
We used to. I'll never forget. How weird is this? We used to order shit from there. Like me and the kids in the neighborhood. It was like this kid Joe who lived next door, Bobby B, Robert Russo,
Yeah.
and this kid Nick Lordo, and this kid Ron, like all these kids in the neighborhood. Brian McGowan, who lives around the corner. We used to order like, well, no, I don't think it was before we met Brian. It was before I met Brian, but we used to order.
Wait, you
these-
didn't? Brian lived a block away his whole life, or no?
No, not his whole life. Like he moved when he was like maybe like 8.
Oh, okay.
So this is maybe like later, maybe more like 10. He moved though.
Okay, because I was surprised you didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was before we met Brian.
Okay.
No, I think he lived there for a little bit. And we weren't friends right off the bat. He was friends with this other kid. Oh man, this kid Charles. We used to call him Eggerhome. I don't know why even. We used to call him Eggerhome.
Well, Egger's a nursing home.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe his grandmother was. I don't know.
I remember
we used to call it Eggerhome.
When I first started hanging out around here, it was through Tim Johnson.
Yeah.
And you guys were the evil immigrants, and there was the Oakwood sewage crew.
Yeah.
Which Oakwood's then out. It's like gone after Hurricane Sandy.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it's like obliterated. Yeah. But there was. I remember hanging out. I don't know if you ever did this. They used to hang out on this street corner where there was like a group home.
No, but there was a group home over here where we used to hang out. I know, yeah,
you used to hang out at a different group home?
Yeah. No, like you'd hang out. Well, a friend of ours lived near it, so like hang out at his house for like a minute, and it's like you'd see like all these weirdos in the group home.
Well, I
being weird,
hanging out with Tim Johnson and that whole crew. It was like really like down in the sticks on Staten Island too, like all these old bungalows, like beach homes, but no one went in the water because the water was disgusting. So it's just like kind of like
go in that water.
Almost like trailer park. Yeah. I think. Not to be mean, but like
in that water. Like, it's not water you go in. Yeah.
So we were. What the hell was I gonna say?
Tim Johnson, Oakwood Beach.
The group home.
Group home.
They were hanging on this corner, and Tim's like, "Yeah, we hang out over here sometimes, and we do this thing." And I was like, "What do you do?" And he went, "Whoop," like that. And then somebody in the group home went, "Whoop," and we'd all crack up. And then that's where they hung out. So people would be like drinking beers and like just hanging out on like a sidewalk, and then just randomly somebody would go, "Whoop," and then in the house, this other guy would go, "Whoop." He would just echo it back.
It's a cool group home.
That was the hangout.
No, this
spot.
group home was nothing like that. It was not a good group home.
That's the title of the episode. Not a good group home.
Oh Jesus!
No one will listen to that.
No, especially people at group homes. I spoke to a guy recently who was in a group home. I had no idea. All right, there's this guy Brian that I'll see at work, and he's at my job. I work at a hospital, and they hire a lot of like handicapped people. And this he's handicapped. He's a nice guy. He's mentally handicapped. His name's Brian. I always talk to him. I'm always mad nice to him. And he saw me. He came into work early. Oh no, I think he worked like a double shift, and he cut his finger really bad at work. And I told him, I was like, dude, you cut your finger. You should go get it, you should go down to the emergency room, have it looked at. Like it was literally like the fucking skin ripped off of his pointer finger, like from the knuckle down. And I'm like, dude, you should, like, he was cleaning a table. Something weird happened where like he ripped the skin off his fucking finger. And I'm like, dude, you should get it looked at. He's like, no, I'm okay. And dude, he's like straight up mentally handicapped, lives in a group home. And I'm like, do you have somebody at where you live that can look at your finger? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, listen, dude, if you need anything, come back to me tomorrow. I leave at 3. Come back before then. I'll give you whatever gauze and tape you need.
I mean, there should be an accident report and everything.
There should, but he didn't want to take off because he just kind of like went into a different position where he works later, and he doesn't want to get in trouble. So he's kind of like under probation in this
when
position. When
does this happen?
It's like 2 days ago.
God,
I didn't see him. Today. I'm off tomorrow. But I'm like, oh, Brian should go. But I feel bad. Like, he's not functioning at a complete level, and people pushing him through the system like he is.
That sucks.
And I'm like, and he's like, dude lives in a group home. Dude is completely like mentally handicapped. Nicest guy in the world. But yeah, he's not all there. And I'm like, dude, like get your, like whoever you report to at home, whoever you live with, show them your finger, have them take care of it. He's like, oh, okay. I'm like, dude, his finger was like bad.
Yeah.
like I wouldn't be surprised next time I see him, he has no finger.
And that's the name of the episode. No finger.
Fingerless Brian. It's funny because he's a Brian with a Y.
Ah.
Brian with a Y.
Brian with a Y. Here's McGuckin.
Here's the McGuckin.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So
Buttons.
I've got alcohol in my system.
Yeah.
I've got caffeine in my system.
Yeah.
I've got other stuff in my system.
Speaking of those, I'm going to light up another bowl right
Look
now.
at you, the pro, making all kinds of mic noise.
Making all kinds of mic noise. That's what I do.
Pro with that
Make
pipe,
all
but not at that
kinds
mic,
of
man.
noise.
Look at you. Here he goes. He's got the flamethrower. That was I went camping with the McGowans. You know, Brian McGowan, Jackie McGowan. They've both been on the show. If you want to go back and listen to that, but
I love me.
they would kind of have this like guys weekend in the Poconos, and Brian invited me, and it was just every male family of the McGowan family.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh my God,
crucial. Crucial.
it's.
I've stayed in that cabin, but not while they were there. And I've seen the pictures, and it's like
We drove up,
dude,
and
crucial.
Brian has two brothers. One was up in a tree with a saw, like cutting the top of the tree off, and the other brother was wearing a flamethrower and using it to start a campfire. It was great. They were like,
You ever hear the McGowan song?
Yeah, it's been a long time though.
Mountain Man McGowan lives in a log cabin. Mountain Man McGowan fishes in the summer.
Yeah. Oh my God, I haven't heard that.
Mountain Man McGowan.
Jesus Christ, I haven't heard that in like almost 20 years.
Yeah, Mountain Man McGowan.
Mountain Man McGowan.
He's just from that ilk of people where they're like they could just. You just throw them in the woods and they'll find their way to like water.
It was so much fun, but it was scary too. Like, I mean, they roasted a whole pig and it was awesome. He had one uncle made like a crazy stew where he threw in like kibasi and shrimp and crab meat and corn on the cob, and like it was one of those like giant pots. He just kept throwing stuff in. And then he had this giant packet of spices, and he just dropped that whole thing in.
Yeah.
And they had a roasted pig and stuff. But yeah, we woke up to somebody in his family like just shooting a handgun. It was like he saw like a skunk, and he just it was like I'm like sleeping, and it was just maybe 10 feet from my head. Like I'm inside, this guy's outside, but on the other side of the wall, he's just like firing a handgun at like a skunk.
That's insane.
And it was. Yeah, it was so much fun, but you kind of felt like somebody could get hurt. But they were in this community, and every year they'd get a whole bunch of fines, and then everybody would pool their money together and like
fines
pay
for what? Like
pay off the fines.
Shooting guns in public fines?
Everything, fireworks,
Guns,
guns,
to no
just
good.
Fire.
They're like the bad like fraternity. Those guys.
It was like it was. I mean, you could almost make a movie about it because it's like a whole community.
Yeah, no, everybody is nice and calm, but then you've got
one night.
Delta House.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fart. Beer farts, beer pong.
Delta House. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's totally it.
That's awesome.
I
wish I was there, just farting all over the floor.
I was so crazy.
My shirt off, just farting all over the floor. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just farting all over the floor. What up, yo?
All right, you're giving all of our secrets away. You're giving the whole movie away.
This floor is awesome.
Would you save some of it?
All right.
You're giving the whole plot away.
Farts. Beer.
Delta House.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. Let's write it.
I'd pay money to see it.
Let's write it. I'll write it. I'll sell it to you.
All right.
Deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
Delta House. That probably is a movie.
Yeah.
That sounds like a thing already.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Oh God, do you remember we used to? I don't even know if I should get into this.
What?
We used to laugh about doing like an 80s style movie where it's like a bunch of
with the nerd who
it's like it's a bunch of guys in high school with a dare that they're gonna get laid by prom. That's the whole plot. It's like classic 80s, and they all have their eyes on this one girl, and it was whoever gets the girl wins. And what's great about it is if you know an 80s movie. That in the 80s that was innocent, but it's super rapey now, which is what we were gonna do. And at the end, it was like you don't know which of these three guys is gonna. It's like there's the nerd, there's the jock, right? There's like the
nerd, the jock, and there's like the cool guy,
and the good kid, and the foreign kid, and
no, there was like a rebel, like a Judd Nelson-y type of rocker kid.
But there was a Japanese kid, which is important.
Yeah.
Because the idea was you'd write this classic 80s movie where you're laughing and you're rooting for these guys who are all trying to get laid, and they're all hoping for this one girl, and it ends on prom night where they all rape the girl. And it's not... Now, here's the thing. Rape is not funny. But making people watch a movie that they think is Van Wilder, and then suddenly a horrible thing happens.
Horrible rape scene.
In the last, 30 seconds.
Like Jodie Foster style rape scene.
Was so funny to us.
Yeah.
To make that movie, to see if we can get people to watch it to that point, and then realize that what they thought was funny was just
Well, no, the best is the end with a nerd.
This is it. It is horrible.
That's the best part.
And at the end, it's like, oh, see what you did? See what you were rooting for, and you teach them a lesson.
Yeah.
So they laughed, and then you bring them down, you teach them a lesson, and then to lighten the mood...
Yeah, you have the nerd fly away.
The Japanese kid.
It was the Japanese guy? I thought it was just a regular
He was a nerd. I think he was a nerdy Japanese kid.
Japanese nerd.
Oh,
just
of course.
fly away in the jetpack, giving a thumbs up.
In outer space.
Yeah, in outer space.
That's how you fix it. So if anybody's interested... in making that movie,
it's data. It's like a data, like a teenage data.
And if anybody listening is upset with us right now, you don't get it. You just You don't get it.
Just go away.
Yeah. What do you
get your kicks somewhere else, baby? You're two-timing me,
dude. The movies we used to talk out.
Yeah.
If only we came up with a serious one, but they were all like that.
Yeah.
It was always that was definitely a very that's like an Andy Kaufman way of thinking about things.
Oh yeah.
Just to make ourselves laugh. We did that a few times. Yeah, we used to show videos, and some of them were definitely just for us.
Oh, dude, there was that one, that Agent Eric video, and we would show it, and it was so... We would purposefully put these long cuts in where it just showed the same thing over and over again in repetition, just to fuck with people.
Yeah, and we'd be at the back of the room.
Just to make ourselves laugh.
We'd be crying at the back of the room.
Yeah.
While everybody else was getting annoyed in there.
Yeah, this is, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we used to do sketch comedy back in college.
Yeah.
And these are some of the videos. We would show videos and do live stuff. And sometimes we would have stand up and bands and other sketch. We would have these crazy shows called the Petting Zoo.
Those shows were crazy,
Those
man.
were
And
awesome.
and you know what too? We were doing that, and then I would go to Manhattan and I would watch shows like Tinkle. What was my show to go to?
Tinkle
which
was a good
was
show,
David Cross, John Benjamin, Todd Barry at pianos in Manhattan, and they did it every week. But it was they would open with a video that they shot for that show, and then somebody would do stand-up, but then somebody would do a character, and then somebody would come out and dance. And I remember seeing that, and really, that was a big influence for me with the shows we were doing.
Yeah,
I was just
we went wild with those shows. They were great shows.
Yeah, it was... for anybody, I think some people who listen were there for those shows, because we used to bring out a ton of people.
Yeah.
But it was also... to be fair, some of the comedy sketches I stand behind and I love, and some aren't so good.
Yeah,
I think it was we were young, we were hanging out with that whole scene. There wasn't a lot of comedy on Staten Island, and we would show videos and do live stuff and bringing stand-up comics here and stuff, and then always closing with a band.
Yeah,
It was I love doing shows like that. I kind of miss it. I actually get very, very bored with just straight up stand up shows.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Same thing with band stuff. Like I miss those type of shows.
The thing that I feel used to be more, I think it existed more then, and I think we felt it, and I felt it in the shows that I went to. I felt like everybody was there for the show. It kind of felt like everybody was always laughing together, where I go to a lot of shows now and it feels like it's kind of like a one-man thing, and then that person runs out. You know what I mean?
There's other acts that aren't there.
Yeah, it just always, it feels like less of a show.
Just more like one guy's set and then...
Yeah, I think everybody's just more about their own act, which obviously is the main thing, but it's like your act and how it fits into that particular show.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just shows are not as fun as they used to be. I'm also getting more jaded and critical as I get older too, because I've seen so much. But I still think, like, I go back and I watch Kids in the Hall sketches. I don't think anybody's touching any of that.
No, I agree.
100%. I don't see anything now that hits me on that level. And I'm not talking about nostalgia. There's things I liked as a kid, and I get how that has a special meaning. I'm talking about like really smart, original sketch comedy.
Yeah, no, it's pure. You don't get more original than Kids in the Hall. Like you could say.
Well, don't forget
Python as well, but
influenced by Monty Python and SCTV. Like I can't give them all.
Things like SCTV. And of course, SNL and everything else that came after, it's kind of a parody, like where Kids in the Hall does not do like parody. It's just straight up comedy.
Yeah.
Same thing with Monty Python. I don't love all of Python, but like I can admit they are straight up comedy.
Yeah.
Where it's not parody, it's not satire, it's not because. Not saying like satire isn't good.
I mean, a lot of it is
parody
too,
isn't
though.
good. Yeah, but it's no. But I mean, like of like pop culture, like SNL. I mean, I'm sorry, Kids in the Hall do like satire of like.
Yeah, but Monty
certain
Python would with like television itself.
Oh yeah,
with like news broadcasts and like sporting events and stuff like that. Like they definitely would.
Yeah, but I mean,
they did a lot of that.
I mean, like topical. Were they topical?
I'd have to go back. I mean, I'm not the expert on Python. The thing with Python for me was always like the show. There's definitely a cultural disconnect.
Yeah. Well, my Python is my Python love and knowledge, but love mostly is just the movies.
Yeah.
I don't watch the show. I don't know the show.
The show can hit me. The show. There's things that have been really funny and things that I just didn't quite connect with.
Yeah. Same here.
Holy Grail is amazing.
Holy Grail is great. Life of Brian, always that I love that fucking movie. That's not even people's favorite Python movie.
Meaning of Life.
Really enjoy that movie.
Meaning of Life was my favorite for a long time, but I think it's Holy Grail in the end.
Yeah,
yeah. But Meaning of Life is a sketch show. That's really all it is. It's just
it's a big long sketch show.
It's just in a movie, so it can be uncensored, but
yeah. So
it's just a bunch of sketches.
So all right, so that's my knowledge is coming from that being where it's non-satirical and parody, where it's just comedy, and grouping Kids in the Hall with that, where it's not really like a satire of that. Like in a certain way, it's a satire of the times. Like you know what I mean, with certain characters and certain views and stuff like that. But in general, it's not like a satire of like the prime minister at the time or the president. Why are you laughing at me?
What are you talking about?
I mean, I don't even know. I'm just mad because my lighter doesn't work.
Where is this going?
And the flamethrower is burning my finger. I just want to smoke the rest of this pot, man.
I mean, I'm paying attention, but I don't know where it's going.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm too far gone, man.
Well, this has been a new experience for me. And we can wrap it up. This has been an episode.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See this thing you're doing with your finger? You have a special handle.
Yeah.
so you don't make mic noise. And now you're doing this thing. You've been doing it lately. You put your finger on top of the mic.
Yeah.
And you make a little bit of noise with your finger.
Go to hell, Zelina. You go to hell and you die.
Hold your special handle.
I can't get this lighter. Look, this lighter died on me. Look at this.
Well, what's wrong with the other one?
It's burning my fingers. Look at this. It's a fucking blowtorch.
Yeah. Yeah. He really doesn't have a blowtorch. I don't know if that's I don't think you're doing it right. There you go.
I was sucking into the mic.
Everybody gets to hear you smoke a microphone.
That was absolutely ridiculous. That was the most insane thing I've ever done.
That's not how that works. All right. It is time to say goodbye. And you can fit it where you shit it.
Oh, only for you, John. Only for you.
Listen of you.
Ow.